Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 123. Yes, that's the only reason I could remember it, because I was excited about it last time. I was like, oh, hell yeah. It's a special number. It's a special number sequence. Yeah, been once again quite a while since we last played. This is becoming a unfortunate reoccurring thing now that we have longer breaks, but that's just how it is. Sometimes life gets a little bit busy, doesn't it? But we're back, and I guess without further ado, I'll just jump into a quick recap, which is you guys have been in the Feywilds for now quite a while, actually. Not just session-wise, but also in-game-wise. Have spent a couple of long rests. Though, to be fair, most of the long rests were always done immediately after each other. But, you know, it's still 8 hours passing every single time. Managed to stop a fiery threat from Magla. Then attempted the angelic key from Estaniel. Failed the first time. Then some of you decided to make deals with gods. Succeeded? Question mark? At least from one person's subjective perspective view. And the others learned information about the Feywild, met a strange guy in an abandoned tower of a long-lost village of the Dryadalus court. And then you would have a discussion existential-wise with each other about the future of this group. And then you would fight against the angel again, succeed valiantly, and retrieve a holy artifact, after which you decide to split up again. Now I'm seeing a theme here, but yeah, that's how it goes. That's where we left off, so I guess, man, there's not many open questions other than what is your best plan of attack for the momentous task that has been now put upon you, partially unwillingly by Fiera, of finding this horn, and the only hint you have is a map where Mount Celestia, which by the way takes up a surface area of thousands of miles, and that's the only hint you have. So what's the plan?
Oh man, I'm Greg and I'm playing Irix Spanner, the human artifighter. Realistically, I think the plan is pick a spot to go to and just hope we find something. Like I don't think we have we don't have time isn't on our side. Knowledge isn't on our side. Of like skills and abilities and stuff, I guess, kind of on our side, but really not, because we have no idea what's to come. So it's just kind of like pick somewhere to go. If we find something, we follow that trail, and whatever comes of it. I don't think there's much of a plan until something new is discovered.
Right. Sense.
Yeah, hi, I'm Matt, playing Fiera, the wizard. Yeah, I mean, that was kind of my plan too. Get a hint, get any information from the archive, which I think all the information is going to be insanely hard to find, because it has to do with lost pantheon, lost artifact from hundreds of years ago, so I don't know if we can find anything. Plan B, legend lore for a hint, and then plan C, just go to Mount Celestia and start exploring, and like Greg said, just find any information and just start, you know, being a detective. String, we explored this sector, now we gotta explore this sector, what's at this place, what's at that place, and just fast, go, no days off, efficient.
Hi, I'm Skit, and I play Isra Eliafina, the druid cleric. And I think the plan is gonna be follow Fiera's lead. Literally. That's all we have to go on. So just go where Fiera tells us we have to go and do our best with what we have and hope to every single god in those skies that we end up in the correct place in a timely fashion. I think that's the plan.
Wow. Yeah. Really just throwing yourselves at it. I see, I see. I mean, just not much to go on, so makes complete sense. Alright. Well, without much further ado, we'll see where you will throw you guys at. And our new intro. I finally did it. Because now it makes sense. Now I am prepared for the first time. Yeah. It's a little bit.
I was still deciphering the last one.
I mean, the last one was pretty on the nose, I feel like, but
Yeah, eventually.
this one is more. It's different from my usual. It's less about. Yeah, you'll get it. It's more direct. It's more like actual info of a show, if you want, if you will. Because at this stage of the adventures, I feel like that makes a lot more sense. Anyways, let's jump right into it, and you can see, and then I can maybe get shamed that the people do like the old intros.
Volume on max. Let's go.
Let's go.
Ilianus, a continent draped in the veil of the Dominators, draconic emperors who ruled the land for centuries. They erected a dome to protect the survivors of a war that brought only disaster. However, 1,597 years later, the veil has been lifted and the Dominators are now dead, leaving the once hidden continent now open to the world. And with it, all waking people suddenly start to feel a premonition of an approaching terror. With the sudden death of the Dominators, the powers of the world have started to shift. Once faithful and loyal believers have now started to question the supremacy of the light. Idle cults start to stir, and power-hungry opportunists see the cracks forming in the once stable foundation of order. But it's the few people who stand against those with ill will that can prevent the chaos from spilling across the land. Much how the tides of disaster once approached with the call of the Holy Blood Legion, who threatened to awaken a slumbering sinner. It was through a few brave heroes who prevented their goals from being achieved. And once again, it's the same heroes that face yet another threat, now led by a chosen of Tiamat, Astyx, who wishes to retrieve an ancient horn which put one of the Dragon Queen's heads in eternal slumber. It's a race which will dictate the very future of how the now unveiled continent of Ilianus is going to look like.
It's us. We're in the intro.
Yeah.
So if we fail,
Oh shit.
what happens?
Playing again.
Oh, well, I feel bad. Never thought about what happened if I just don't get the horn, and then the Fate Weavers are just left on their own, and the gate finishes, and you know.
We shall see what is to come if you guys fail. But there's a lot at stake, that's for damn sure. And with that, we're gonna jump right in, which is obviously you guys split off, or more accurately, Eric, you went off back into the Feywild, wishing to return to the ruins, if I remember correctly, of the Variadalis, and that is also where we are going to pick up again. So, let me know what specifically, or where specifically.
Well, I'm going to head as directly as I can remember back towards the tower, and on the way there, I don't want to stop at anything unless I see more of those memory stones or stone of memory. I'm just gonna, like, as we're going along, I'm just scanning to see if anything pops out at me. I'm not actively looking, but since I know what it looks like, I've got my eye tuned for that specifically.
Okay. Yeah, you can then just make it offhand. A 22. Yeah, you march out, leaving your friends in behind, and you try to navigate your way back to where the tower is. And you've now done this trek at least 2 times now, so this is your 3rd time already. So you're somewhat familiar with the terrain and know several, key landmarks that you can use as a guide to take you where you want to go. It's still difficult because it's a Feywild and things just seem to shift all the way, but your memory is keen enough where there are certain things that stay pleasant or idle, like large stones. They don't grow legs and then suddenly move away. That's apparently only reserved for trees and plants. So after like an hour or so of marching through, you get back to the place where the broken buildings are, and from there on it's rather easy to try and find where the tower is, because it's not in a random location, and you recognize several of the ruins now already as you're walking past them. Indeed, now that you're kind of trekking from the outward trajectory back towards the tower, you're now passing a few areas that you didn't properly sift through when you and Skid were investigating these ruins. Your eyes were more focused on, there where the broken houses are, because you would assume that's where probably most of the trinkets and other things that were probably inside of these houses are going to be left. However, as you're stepping through the more direct and quickest way towards where the tower is, you're often passing by these kind of almost like vacant areas where there aren't any ruins. And as you know, the city that was built here is kind of started to drift apart and crack, so they're like the islands of ruins. And between them, there's just normal Feywild. And as you're going through one of these subsections, you do come across actually 2 stones that are kind of hanging, both attached to what seems to be like a silk rope from a branch, just hanging there. And completely out in the open, you don't see any ruins that are in the vicinity of these 2 stones, which you assume to be memory stones because they have a very similar make, very smooth, and both of them have like a symbol carved on them in silver.
I'll just grab them and head towards the tower.
Yeah, you just kind of pocket them as you walk by, and you arrive at the tower. It's crooked as it was before. It seems to be changed.
On the outside of the tower, I'm gonna fly up to the level that Rakzahi was on, and I want to try to listen in to see if then any noise is being made the same way that we heard the noise the first time.
Yeah, come make a perception check. $16. Yeah. You still hear the kind of somewhat crackling noises of branches and wood rubbing on each other, almost as if it's like being stretched in some areas, and then the occasional breath or exhale coming from Raksai that sometimes sounds a bit like a moan of pain.
He was on the top floor, right? So we're
Yeah.
like right above him was the open air.
Exactly.
I'll fly up and crest over the top of the wall, and I'll look down to see if is he alone in there, and are there any kobolds running around?
Peering over, he seems to be alone. There's no one else there, and he's just once again back at it with his stones, just with his one free arm that he has, just meticulously placing them and ordering in some sort of way that, like the first time I saw him.
I'll just speak out and say, Ragzahi, it's Eirik from before. I don't mean to interrupt or surprise you in any way. I just came back out of interest.
You don't speak Sylvan, right?
No.
Okay. He immediately reacts as you call towards him, and he tries to turn away because from where you are, as you just go the direct way up, you like kind of facing his back, and then he tries to turn, but you can see that as he moves a little bit further away from this kind of root bramble he's attached to, it kind of pulls him a little bit back. He goes, and he responds in Sylvan.
I'll float down towards the floor, and I'll just say, apologies, I don't speak your language, but if you understand me, I just want to know how can I take one of these stones back with me? And I'll pull out the ones I just found.
Okay. He kind of squints his eyes a bit, trying to like ascertain the nature of the message you're trying to convey in a language he very clearly doesn't understand. But you also notice that in the Fae there's like a different level of communication that's beyond just verbal components. Like you can read emotions, and especially creatures that have a deeper tie in that field, which he seems to somewhat be. You get a glimmer in his eyes that immediately translates to a bit of fear as he kind of starts to understand the message, but then kind of the fear dissipates as he doesn't seem to sense any ill intention in questions that you ask. And he responds in Savin. Which you can make an insight check to try and do the same. Try and sense.
So good at that.
Yeah. 17.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you have this minor connection now. And once again, it's like when you look at trees or plants where you can read the emotion more than any meaning, and you can glean emotions coming from him. A deep well of curiosity, stemming, and the thing you ascertain from what he's trying to communicate to you is why.
My desire in life, in certainly the last, in very the very recent past, my desire is to understand how the world and the worlds around us work. This stone, while I know it holds your memories, can potentially be a very helpful item, a tool for lots of other people. There are people I know who I fear are struggling with the risk of forgetting their own path, and I hope something like this might help them. I will respect the memories on it, and I don't want to expose your story, your history to anyone. I simply want to use this as a learning tool to help better society.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
No, +5.
Alright,
Is the roll gonna pop up?
that's a good question.
It didn't pop up. I rolled a natural 9 and a natural 11.
Of 7?
11. Yeah, 11 plus 5, so 16.
Yeah. 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 You can see him start to like slowly nod as you communicate your things to him. And once again, he occasionally cocks his head as you know, the complexion of your request, obviously, what you're trying to communicate goes beyond what you can see through emotions. However, the emotions that you are communicating, which is also genuine parts of curiosity, of this will to help and understand, and also respect and appreciate. These are things that he can read in your message, and you see him kind of just bow his head, and he goes deep to the ground and just kind of touches his forehead to the floor, which, as he does that, he has to like strain a bit and fight against these barbs that are holding him to the tower, but he puts a lot of effort in doing this motion that you can only describe as kneeling. And then he kind of steps up again and he just says,
Dos Skal.
and he starts to notice that.
I'll wrap the cloth or the rope up around itself and pocket that. And I'm going to pull out the mermaid figurine with the tentacles that I kept. And I'm going to put it on the ground. And I'm just going to push it towards him. And I'll back away and fly up.
Okay, yeah, he just kind of grabs towards it, takes it close, starts analyzing it, and then just looks at you as you fly away. And in your last moments, as you kind of look at him, you just see this slight glimmer that you've recognized before when you gave him the stone the first time, of just thankfulness as you then leave him to be as he was.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll head right back as quick as I can.
Okay. Yeah. Then I guess the other two. Is there anything you would do in the next 2 hours?
Long rest.
Watch over Fiera to make sure she doesn't run off or do anything crazy.
Fair. Very fair.
Holding the cloak in my hands.
Oh yeah, we identified that.
Yep.
So yeah, because I did identify, kind of looking at it. Well, good news and bad news. It is quite useful. I guess the question is, who has the most pride to wear it? As I look at glamour.
Well, obviously me.
I was gonna say, the only problem is it's probably too big for you.
Yeah. I'm not really into oversized clothing, so just...
Also, I don't know if is it like golden or that kind of, ambiance.
Well, yeah, kinda. It has like this almost divine halo around it, but the fabric itself is like this super soft silk. It's like the best fabric you have ever touched. It is completely smooth, though you can see like the stitchings in the fabric itself. But as you wash over it, it feels more like water, a surface of water, and it exudes this very pleasant warmth at all times, and glows, obviously.
Okay. So yeah, I'll kind of turn it and well, I could probably say I'd useful to anyone, but I probably don't need it at the moment. I'll let you and Eric decide. It gives a lot of protections.
That's great.
That's its main purpose, is to protect its wielder. Although you can also activate an ability on it to protect the party. So quite handy, and I'll kind of push it towards you.
Yeah. I think we've quite established that my role with the group is to protect and
To live.
keep alive. Yeah.
Yes, you are extremely useful when you're conscious.
Yes. That's the main thing, right? I need to be conscious to keep you guys fighting
Right.
the fight.
I guess the question is, what are you proud of? Because we probably don't want this to overtake you with being proud of the angels and being anti-draconic. That would probably be bad.
Well,
So what pride do you want to hold on to?
the pride of the growth I've done and how things are ever changing, and I pride myself into being open-minded and not letting what I think I know be the judge of everything.
Oh, he will hate that. Wonderful.
Yeah, that's what I think. Also, I think it will be the biggest middle finger to him as well.
Right.
A draconic lover who loves changing and growing. Yeah,
Perfect. Oh, I like that.
wonderful. So I'll take the next whatever time to unattune to the staff of the woodlands and attune to the mental of pride.
Okay. Anything else?
Like I said, I'll just keep watch on Fiera and make sure she doesn't disappear or does anything funny without telling me for the whatever time Eirik is gone.
Yep.
I'm basically
Yeah, so
following her like a puppy everywhere she goes.
I am meditating on de-aging. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing explicit being done, then we can just fast forward a bit, and after about 2 hours for you guys' time, you will see Eric stumble back into the grove. And yeah, so 4 hours have not passed, and I'll back to the group, and you can see Fiera meditating, and Isobel now probably checking out her new drip.
Okay, well, you're still here, so that's good.
Hopefully not for long.
We would not have left without you.
I know you wouldn't have, but there were chances that something could have just happened that you did just
Correct.
disappear. Regardless, you're
No,
here,
that's fine.
I'm here. What are we doing? Are we leaving now?
In a couple hours. I guess as a fern, can you describe how you think it's best for us to leave? I could probably help you with. But we need as much time as we can get, obviously.
Yes. There's not much help. Well, I will be helping you on your journey back, so we will return back to the gateway you used to come here, since that has the least
probability of error will reduce any amount of time that could be potentially skipped. After that, it's in your hands to kind of control your way back. I will do my best to try and give you a couple of guidelines and things to look out for to make that trip as smooth as possible. But yes, at best, the entire group, you will have to kind of maybe we'll do like a little session to try and get you all in sync. Because once again, there's a lot of dilation that can happen even within individuals that are passing there. And if you all have a strong connection with each other, then there's less likelihood that one might accidentally rip you out of a time cycle you're aiming for. There are risks and challenges that might contribute to that. But you're all very well attuned to magic, are quite familiar, very unique ways, so I believe this shouldn't hopefully be too big of a challenge.
Boy, yeah, sounds like a skill check I should prepare time spells for. Okay, wonderful. Well, I guess give me a couple hours. Get some fatigue out of me.
Yes. Well, in the meantime, while you are resting, and do the synchronization practice now. This doesn't require a lot of effort per se. This is more a sort of being on the same wavelength, and it's a fun exercise. So you wouldn't mind, and we'll just stand up for a little bit and just stand next to each other. Exercise is very simple. You will just stand next to each other, and then you will all, without communicating with each other, try and jump at the same time.
Oh God!
Oh boy.
I jump. And I assume I'm the only one to do so.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay.
Oh great! Now we're stuck here. We're never leaving.
Well, this is why we are doing this exercise, because it is an impossible task if you do it without communicating or knowing what you're doing beforehand. However, you'll do this a couple of times, usually 3 or 4 times. You'll find a certain pace where you wish to jump with each other. So, let's just go back and let's try again.
Yeah. And I jump. Okay. Am I the only one jumping here?
Oh, yes, because we haven't determined when we want to jump, how we want to jump. We have to.
We have to jump
together.
So I jumped.
Yeah, but you're not even like.
We have to coordinate when we jump.
Once again, you're not including us in your decisions, Fiera.
I thought there was no communication.
Yes, to be fair, there's no blame one or the other side. This is an innately impossible task. If you do not communicate beforehand and you don't have the ability to read someone else's mind, how would you know? Based on feeling. So you will have to, after you do this exercise a couple of times, get a sense. If you know that Fiera jumps very hastily, then maybe you have to try and jump a little bit earlier than you usually would. Do this a couple of times, and then you should find a rhythm where I think you can somewhat decently guess when other party members.
I have a proposal. We all walk out 10 feet, walk back into our position, and then begin.
What are you talking about? Do you mean like walk out, come back, and we jump as soon as we get back here? Because that feels like planning that we're not allowed to do.
But we know we're going to go to the portal, and then we know we're going to go home. So this is like a journey. Walking here is the journey, and then when we jump after that is up to us. It's a plan beforehand.
Sure, let's try it.
Okay. Walk out 10 feet. Turn around, and I start walking back. Get into position, and then I immediately jump.
Okay, question: would Eirik also jump?
When I see her like coming back to where she was when she first jumped, I would try to time it to jump with her. Like I did not walk or anything. I just stayed there and I wait for her to come back, and I try to jump with her. I'm just like keeping my eyes on her to try to.
Oh,
Am I
jeez.
gonna jump? Like yeah, and I'm probably like half a beat late or something.
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful improvement.
I'm just literally laughing at all of us right now. Okay.
I thought it was fun.
One more time.
I jump?
No. Okay.
Ah.
You know, to be fair, we've never really practiced anything. In
No.
all the weeks, sorry, Voss, we've been together.
Yes.
Literally, we talk a lot. Practice almost nothing.
This is the first time we have to coordinate something.
Yeah. Sort of, yeah.
Are we allowed to look at each other, or do we have to be looking in the same direction for this to satisfy Isophron?
I think you're perhaps taking this a little bit too literally. This isn't the actual
Yeah, probably.
test.
That is what I do all the time.
Yeah, that is what I'm trying to get out of you. That is the impractical part of a lot of things. It's a whim. It's a feeling. It is nothing more than trying to guess what the other is going to do and when they're going to do it. There is no logic towards this, because of course, the first thing anyone would think is, let's just set a time beforehand, and then we will all simultaneously jump. Yes, that would
You
work.
can't plan for everything.
Exactly. We are trying to learn a feeling that you want to establish with each other. It is like when you see your friend for the first time and your instinct is to wave your hand, and your friend would expect this motion and they too would wave their hand. Something that isn't communicated, but something that was built over time. You three have to find a bond, which I am now learning as you're doing this exercise. There might not be one.
I don't know what you're talking about, sir. We are very bonded. The so bonded.
Oh, you know what? I have an idea. Let's reset. I'm gonna try something. I just want to see if it works. All right, everybody get in position.
Okay.
As soon as everybody's standing like they should be, Might be dangerous. So Fira's mind, we're all connected through, the elements of shadowmancy, time, gravity, soul. I want to pull at the threads I have connected to them, and then jump.
Okay. Alright. Then make a straight intelligence check.
Oh god. Why am I doing a skill check when I have 2 exhaustion? I don't know. This is what I do.
Damn! Still a 19.
Wow.
Wait,
Okay.
that means you rolled a natural. No, natural 18.
Plus 5 minus 4. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you're trying to like cheat the system and like trying to see in the future or in other realities or just there.
There's a connection. I'm just trying to use the one I'm most familiar with.
Exactly.
To make it easy.
And you do see a very strong connection, but you immediately realize, especially with such a high roll, though your brain is a little bit tired, that you can ascertain a lot of things with the use of magic. You can see in the future, you can see in the past, you can even predict certain outcomes or force certain outcomes. But the one thing you sort of aren't able to ascertain with shadowmancy is a whim, an emotional state that a person has, a spontaneous decision that erupts inside of a body. And so as strong as all these predictabilities and possibilities around you kind of warp at your fingertips, you notice you could never predict when Eirik could be happy or laugh out loud or anything like that. You could see the circumstances that could bring it together and you could force it together. But predicting the very cause of that is always an impossibility. And that's where you realize that's where the origins of infinite possibilities come from, is because every individual has the infinite choices they have in front of them, and only they can decide them.
Okay. So I jump. There's like, threads of magic coming off of me. I land. Out of breath. And I sit. Okay. I'm tired.
Jeez. Oh boy.
Gosh, that
This isn't gonna go well.
I think part of the problem might be the innate connection of what this is supposed to lead to. This is a game, right? This is you trying to jump together, but you're heavily associated with what you're about to do. This is making this more difficult than it's supposed to be, right? You all have to just jump at the same time. Difficult.
It's
I mean,
supposed to be an
if we were
easy
here all
task.
day, sure, we'd figure out something. If we just jump a whole bunch, eventually we'd get in sync just out of happenstance. And then rinse and repeat for a couple days, and sure, we can make a dance.
I don't think it's the margin of error that you are all seeing here is the main problem. You think if we don't jump at millisecond intervals, you'll be off sync. Right now, only one of you seems to be committed to jump at all. It's Fiera.
I tried.
Pardon me. Of course, that's how progress is made. So from only one willing person, we now have two. If you would even jump at 10-second intervals, at least you're all jumping together. What you're trying to learn is the willingness to do things together. And if this seems absurd to jump together, how are you expecting to jump through time?
Oh my god. Fiera, stand up.
I'll get up.
Jump.
Jump.
I didn't know we were doing that exercise. I'll jump just out of sadness.
Yes! Very good. Very good. Now, to put this into perspective of what you have accomplished right now, right? Because I still see some of you aren't taking this too seriously, which is good. It is fun. It's supposed to be that. But from not jumping at all together, you could have time dilations that are a year or more. Right?
They might
Now,
be dead, yes.
you all jump together, which was reduces by maybe 10 days. If one of you decides to not sync with the others, that can heavily disrupt the flow of time. Because you're now flowing in different wavelengths. But as soon as you're somewhat in harmony, you know, you don't have to play the perfect chord, but as long as you're on the same scale, you'll make it much more efficiently and quicker. It's kind of like, you know that game where you tie your legs together and then you have to walk at the same time? You don't have to be perfect for that, as long as you're somewhat following the motions of the other person. But if someone isn't moving at all, well, the other person also isn't moving at all. And this is how this works. So, you can wish to spend more time jumping at synchronized spaces, but this was the part I wanted you to understand a little bit clearly.
Yeah, I mean, whatever we do, we have to do together and without hesitation.
Well, if one hesitates, and be troublesome. But there's trust with all of you that you are there for the same thing, and that is the bond, the strongest bond you have. Is you. Well, actually, I take that back. After the conversations you had, I'm not so sure if trust is quite aligned. But maybe this is the perfect exercise to bring it back.
We're
To be
building
fair,
it. We're building it.
We've only known each other for like a month or two.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a pretty long time if you ask me, but...
What? No, it's not.
I mean, a month in the Feywild is much different than a month on the material plane.
I
Yes,
mean,
via the Chaldean calendar.
no, I'm talking about normal time. I mean, how many people have you spent your entire time with for an entire month? I couldn't even fill one hand with people I would know that I've spent so much time with.
I'd be
If
on like 4
Arya
hands,
was
5
still
hands.
here, it would be a different story, but I get what you mean.
And
If I was still working at the MDP, same people every day in, day out, day in, day out.
yeah,
Mhm.
but it's a select few. Well, imagine how many people exist on this continent. Hundreds of thousands, millions, and you know deeply 20 people. Spending time constantly for entire months. Do not underestimate the emotional connections you're making here. Once again, I can't even count on one hand that I've spent that much time with any person. I mean, Iserel was the one who I spent most of my time with. Me?
Mhm.
Right?
I jump.
Jump.
I jump.
And you just see a big smile on Azathia's face, and I need not say anymore. Just let me know when you're ready, and then we shall make our way.
We're screwed, aren't we?
As long as I'm going with, it should be fine. I'll just be extremely tired at the end of it if something goes wrong. And we'll have to take a day off.
Oh, yay.
Anyways, a couple hours.
Sit down and wait.
Alrighty. Then.
Oh, and while we're waiting, I will just scroll here. I'll share the legend lore information I got from Tiamat. I'll retell the story of she was good. Five-headed dragon, you know, the gray people that she guided and was divine with, and then something happened. It changed and went full 180. And that Sardior, the third Dracolith god, encased her in gemstones so that folks on Hala can use the instruments to put each head to sleep. So yeah, now we're on the same page.
Same book.
Yeah. I would even argue same chapter.
Well,
to some extent.
Okay.
We're getting there.
Getting there, yes.
Right. Then during your rest, you see that Azathia at some point kind of leaves, but he says he doesn't like sneak. He gets something quick, and then after maybe 2 hours or so, turns, and we'll say 8 hours now have finally passed. We get you long rest, and all other people as well if they need or require one. You're still Borg.
Whoops.
Borg is exhausted.
Bum.
There we go. Fiera's back.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, anything after that long rest, or will you just tell Azathia that you're ready and you'll proceed to go to the gate?
Yeah, I'm ready to go back.
Yeah, this could make or break everything, really.
Right. Then, what this even happens, I need... Now let Matt do this. Roll me a d12.
Oh gosh, dang it.
D12. Oh, I should just roll that. Roll 20. 11.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Right.
I'm concerned if that's what I think it is.
Here's 11 pearls. Free of charge.
Who knows, who knows. Unfortunately not, you don't get 11 pearls. But yeah, you then tell Azathia that you're ready, and he will then kind of wild shape into a deer, as it's easier to travel that way through the Feywild. So you up, and then he just assumes that you also will wild shape yourself, and he then, or you all then will proceed to kind of gallop outside the Fey Forest. Once again, the kind of plant life making way for Azathia as he's striding through. And after about an hour ride or so, you leave the premises of where the forest still blooms and instead go out to where you can see the kind of burnt down landscape of the Feywild. It is a still somewhat sorrow sight as you step out, and even though you were expecting this swim, however, not seeing any active flames now, you know, burning or erupting from any areas, though occasionally you still see sudden combustions from just probably people on your plane casting a spell. But you kind of ride through this charred, blacked landscape, and as you do so, you, after a short amount of time, maybe like half an hour ride or so, would then arrive at the kind of minor grove that was here. It's kind of black ichor pool lake, and then these kind of ruined stone structures that look very similar to the kind of material plane grove that you went to when you first discovered this gate. And then you can see the stone structure that makes up the gate itself, and you can still see that the portal there is still active. You can see a shimmering light glowing, changing colors and hues from greens to oranges to purples and blues, and it's just kind of standing there, and then surrounded in the kind of dead corpses of other trees that have burnt down previously. But Azathia kind of then, as you arrive, kind of just kneels down to let you guys off of his back, and then proceeds to turn back into his real shape, and then looks back towards all of you. And before he says anything, actually takes out a little pouch. Out of his pouch, he takes 3 potions. And you can see they kind of glitter a little bit with this very kind of red but more orangish hue. And it seems almost like you can see it's like fizzing a little bit, as if it's fizzy. And he says, well, this is the last gift I will be able to impart onto you. Will hopefully aid in your, well, journey ahead. These are elixirs of health procured from a local brewer friend here in the Feywild. And he just kind of hands this almost like self-crocheted satchel where these 3 potions are kind of set inside of, and hands them over. These are definitely more useful. They are to Holy Frog or myself.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's quite generous.
You stopped all this onslaught, so that's the least I could do. And if you are truly stopping an infernal invasion, I wish I could give you more.
It's complicated. That is the goal, I guess, yeah. Well, yeah.
Right. Well, then he kind of steps in front of the portal. So it just waits for you 3 to step beside him, and he says, once again, don't forget, try and jump together, metaphorically. Once you're all inside of there, I recommend holding hands, just so a physical connection can always help the psyche. And may we see each other in hopefully was or months and not years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, I will give you a sign. Then you can jump through together. Right? I will just try and somewhat stabilize the gate to a way where you'll have less friction traveling through. And you see that he kind of goes towards there and kind of puts his hands together on kind of like his abdomen, and then you see him kind of puff up his chest a bit, and he just kind of starts speaking in a very almost like serenading tone, almost like a chant that he's doing here. And his voice almost seems to shift and change as his voice almost sounds like it's coming out of the gate itself, as several other sigils that encompass this gate start to glow up slightly. And as it does so, you can see each rune that lights up has a different hue, and as they light up, you can see that the kind of, you know, the portal liquid, if you will, is constantly in a shifting dynamic display of different hues and colors. But as these runes light up one after each other, the kind of shifting of hues kind of becomes less and less, and it forms into a more coherent and singular monotone color of a green, yellowish, lime-like color. Seems like he's kind of taking out a bit of the chaos that this warp just naturally has. And he just continues his chant. You can see he slowly starts to take his hands off his abdomen, but he's still chanting. And he kind of brings them up. Still with the chant. Then he waits here for several seconds. And then he claps.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you all jump simultaneously, and as you do so, as soon as you come into contact with that, you maybe expect a similar sensation with what happens with when Fiera kind of lets you teleport through, that it's a sudden shift or sudden pull or something similar to that, or maybe your stomach drops, but instead it feels like you are suddenly doing backflips at 10 rounds a second as you just get yeeted away. You can see that your FOV or your POV just suddenly starts to distort, as you can see the arms on your side holding your friends just kind of get expanded and elongates as you're kind of getting pulled apart. It doesn't feel painful, it's more like this visual hallucination, but you can suddenly and most definitely feel this kind of drag that you're going through, as if you're trying to swim through a very white water rafty river that is trying to just pull you in certain directions, and you kind of have to keep tight to stay together. And you will now have to do a skill check, as this will heavily determine what the hell is gonna happen next. So how this is gonna work, it's very simple. You have to write me privately which skill you wish to use to roll, and with that, just ability score, not skill, sorry, ability score. So either strength, intelligence, wisdom, or stuff like that. And the more of you have the same, so if you all choose the same one, the DC is a lot lower. And you cannot communicate which one you're gonna choose right now, because you have to send it solo. And if you all have different ones, the DC is the highest. So that's as simple as that's gonna work.
I think I have my answer. I'm sending my brain juices. I think I have my answer.
I already typed it.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
That's how it sounds. Oh no.
Yeah. By the way, you don't have to type it. You have to roll it, and then you will all three see what it's gonna be. So I will count down, and then you all roll together. All right?
And it's we have to use the
ability.
So let's say I'm just saying, let's say I say strength, then I have to roll my strength, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Just want to make sure I understood.
Okay.
All right.
And just because I have exhaustion, I'm gonna use my inspiration for advantage.
Well,
it's
we'll
important
see.
enough.
Yeah, I mean. So okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Time wizard. We arrive in the past, Jack.
Oh,
3 years in the past.
oh my god. Well, okay, wait. So,
What'd you get, Eric?
I don't know why it rolled twice, but it
it's the same
rolled
roll.
twice, and it's the same roll.
Okay, so 2 of you have the same, which is very good. 1 of you has advantage, not advantage, has a natural 20 from Fiera, which is hard carrying right now. So you all notice, Isobel and Fiera, you stay pretty much attached, and you see this elongating shape that suddenly comes out, or that seems like you're drifting apart from your friends. Or you can see that you slowly find the same wavelengths that Fiera is, and you kind of manage to, stay connected. And you can also feel that there's this slight pressure, almost slipperiness that is developing on your hands, almost as if you're getting sweaty. That's hard to hold on, and it's more a kind of mental sensation, less of a physical one. However, you both see that Eirik is kind of drifting apart off, as he's not on the same wavelengths as you are. And you can see a mirage of other different Eiriks kind of almost colliding together, as he's like almost like 10-15 feet away from you, with his arm extended long outwards. And now you have to do the same again.
Roll, pick, whatever.
Exactly. You pick,
Countdown.
and then I will count down. And
Okay.
then we continue. 3, 2, 1, go. How is Skin only rolling 10? So just roll again, just to make sure that.
I mean, that's pretty.
Okay. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
3 times
okay.
in a row.
Yeah, I just rolled 3 10s in a row, I guess. I'm just average.
Yeah. So Fiera, Isobel, once again, you are still very much connected. You aren't drifting apart. You feel stable in where you are. However, Eirik is now heavily drifting apart, to the point where Fiera, you feel like if this continues on, he's just gonna drift off.
Yeah, can I use a reaction?
You can definitely try and use a reaction, yes.
Yeah, I'll chronal shift, try to pull him more aligned with our time, at least. Maybe not spatially, but
Okay.
so should be able to roll again.
Yes, so Eirik, you can roll a wisdom again. And it says still DC, it's just a lot higher because you choose it.
My God!
Okay, well, I guess
Does
one
it-
fate we were down.
Does he keep the roll?
Uh,
Or does he choose a better one? He keeps the roll.
Can I use
you
my
must keep the
inspiration?
result of the second roll.
Yeah, of course you can.
Okay. Oh my God!
Hey, at least it went
We're
back
back
to the
at it?
9. He's back to the 9.
Okay,
Okay.
He's all over the place.
So, you are being dragged through here. However, Fiera and Isobel, and also Eirik, you all now notice that you're slowly approaching. You aren't, in this point, afraid that you're gonna split off and disappear once again. This is all kind of like a metaphorical thing on how much drag you're creating. Right now, you have a bunch of drag, which means your travels through whatever kind of magical escape this is causing a lot of ripples and waves in your surroundings, meaning the potential of time coursing a lot slower, or a lot faster, I should say, is very, very high. And Fiera, you now notice, as you can kind of see the end approaching, Isobel, you as well, that this is the last opportunity to try and rid yourself, to try and get yourselves all back together and jump out at the same time. And might, yeah, it's the last opportunity you have. So,
Can I don't know, scream or just be like focused, or I don't know.
unfortunately not, since this is more like
Gosh, dang it.
a psychedelic trip
Yeah,
that's going
it's like this. Yeah. Okay.
on. Okay, so
What about spells?
spells also, because this is actually for your guys, it's like split of a second that this is all happening. You're just kind of extending out, doing was reactions I'll allow, just because too crazy if not. But this is more like an experience you're having since there's anything like physically, innately happening with you guys. So, same thing again.
From
Yeah.
my point of view, do I feel the?
Yeah.
Am I feeling pull away?
Yeah.
You're probably in hell.
You are like now 30 feet away from where the other two are.
Yeah.
You can see that they're close together. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Make your choices. 3, 2, 1, go. That is.
I mean, I'm gonna inspiration that
Okay.
just because, yeah. Okay, I'll take it.
Okay. At least Isobel's is extremely high, so she actually still manages to make the DC. So what happens is you kind of, I swear you kind
She's
of
gonna kill me.
let yourself kind of like float off a little bit, just to try and counterweight Irik's, sudden descent into madness that you're witnessing there.
That was my goal. That was my goal.
And it somehow seems to work, as Eirik, you now notice the absurdity of what's going on here, and you feel that you're not on the same wavelengths. It is rupturing for you. Everything is going haywire, as if you're looking through things in a lens, as if you're under the ocean trying to see and look for fish during a stormy day. And as you do that, you try and focus in, try and feel more than think, because you can't clearly think at this moment. And you get dragged back in, and Fiera, you can feel, though now you're seeing, Iceworld going apart while Eirik is drifting closer, and that has you a little bit off your game, but you still manage to keep tight. And in the last seconds, you can all kind of collapse back into a decent waveform before you get shunted out. Now, this entire skill challenge was to determine what kind of dice you're gonna roll, which will determine how many days have
Oh,
passed.
Jesus.
Or potentially Voss. So luckily, it is not Voss, because you succeeded on 2, but you failed miserably on 1. So
Where's my count?
you roll a d10, and that will determine how many days pass.
Oh my god.
Okay.
So who?
I can roll it.
I was gonna say I want to do it.
Do you feel lucky?
Screwed us
Do you
up.
feel like you're gonna roll low?
Yes. Two days.
Nothing
Oh.
showed up.
It
Where's the
did
two?
not show up because it's a freaking custom
Oh,
dice.
no.
Ah,
Oh,
shit.
God.
It's in the
Scroll it.
game logs.
It's
It's
there.
in the
It's
game
there.
logs.
Yeah,
It's
okay,
a
okay,
2.
okay.
Good
It's a
luck.
2. I rolled a 2. I rolled a 2.
I trust you. I trust you.
I can screenshot it.
No,
It's a 2.
I trust you. So, you managed
It's in the game log.
to keep yourselves together, and despite the turbulence that was going on, the last moment is really what counts, whether or not you can fit through this hole without problems. As you do, you kind of smash through, and you kind of stumble out. Eirik with a little bit more momentum, since you were kind of dragging on from afar. You probably roll in front and fall on your knees and kind of stumble 10-15 feet in front of you, while Fiera and Iceworld, you kind of just land right in front of the gate. And you're back where you were before. You can still see the surrounding structure. It looks very familiar to you, Iceworld, and particularly it looks more familiar to how this place is supposed to look like. The veil is back open. It seems like this gate had enough time to like reconstitute the magic that's there. But you all also innately feel a little bit how much time has passed, since, especially you, Fiera, with the knowledge that you have about the kind of time passing sensation, you have a very clear
Yeah, you beat.
instinct towards that, and you can somewhat like sense that's the days that pass, which, now that you think about it, is pretty good from considering how much time could have passed. But you are back in the Servalon Great Forest. You do see it is evening at the moment, and you're all kind of lying around here. So what do you wish to do?
So just to confirm, is it the 6th day of the 5th loss now?
Exactly.
Or are we on 7?
Actually, no, you would be in 7.
7. And it's like what time?
Right now you would kind of guess that, the stage of the evening you are and where the moon is, that it's probably like 3 a.m.
That's pretty good. Okay. Because I have my counter before things get bad. Well, I have some bad news. About 2 Vosses passed.
You're joking, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No, they actually went
Middle finger as I'm lying there, just middle finger.
But yes, we returned. I believe it's the 7th. Super early. I can just get us back to the archive.
Please.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll start drawing a circle if it feels safe.
Yeah, pretty safe. You don't see any innate dangers. The veil is up, which obscures you as far as you're concerned.
50 GP of ink. I assume I have that. Ink. Where's my teleport ink? Haven't used this in a while. Yeah, I got plenty. Okay. Get rid of 50. Done 150. Okay. Boom. Yeah, I will then create teleport circle to the archive.
Alright, and without much issue, you'll get once again magically transported in an instant away from here, but you're more familiar with that. The stomach churns for a little bit, you step through a cold void and reappear within the archive's premises. The Inquisition doesn't care now anymore. They are very much afraid, and since your kind of official indoctrination as kind of peacekeepers, you are now kind of allowed to actually use this on the hands of, obviously. And anything you would like to do at 3 a.m. I assume build the tower.
Yeah, I do need to do that regardless. Yeah, I guess I'll bring us to that spot that we always go to when it's open. So I'm in the Tower of Weird with all of its floors.
Right. See some people like kind of in the neighborhood like wake up. You can see lights turn on as they look out. What that strange noises. That's 3 a.m.
Oh, do I have any weird materials? Let me look here. Glass probably isn't strong enough. A pearl tower would be pretty sick.
Yikes.
Ivory? That'd be interesting too. What's strong enough? Bone should be strong enough. You know what? I'll make it out of I'll make an ivory tower.
The poor elephant.
Look at her go.
stylish.
Poor elephant. I have to die for this. Yeah, and the moonlit sky, which isn't very moonlit. Now it's a fractured moon above your heads. Nonetheless, the tower gets created without much problems. You see a couple of guards kind of rush towards where you are, but then see, it's a strange tower. Nothing to be too surprised of. And
Clock on the front and a telescope shooting out the side.
yeah, and it is like let's turn around and watch. But you're always in the tower now, within Dallas back again.
Oh boy.
Okay. So I bring everybody to my study. I have essentially a chalkboard there. I just erase everything on it. I'm like, okay. So I only have like 27 days about. We need to make a plan. Unfortunately, I'm still lagging a little behind, but anyways, I'll just cross everything out. And I guess I can just draw on roll 20. So there's Mount Celestia, right? That's the goal. Somewhere in here is the horn. I have a map of this, but I assume it takes more than like 5 minutes to draw a map that's detailed. I guess that magic.
Yeah.
Yes. Keep going.
You know what? Okay, okay, I'll just keep drawing. No, actually, it'll be a lot easier if I just share the map. So the map you sent me at the beginning of the campaign, I can show you it. It's the one that shows Canaan, essentially, where Mount Celestia is in the middle. It does show, like, the Fallen Archway, Brachiel, Phandalin, all that kind of detail stuff. If you have that one, I think I'll just, like, press the station and just make it appear on my chalkboard.
Yeah. That's map.
That was just a little easier.
Big map.
Oh boy.
Yes, that one.
Another map. We be collecting maps.
Yes, so the biggest one. Oop, I need a bigger text than that. Let's go 32. White. Wonderful. So here's Mount Celestia. I think that's how you spell it. That is our point of interest. I couldn't even fathom to guess where it is. I know the Lichnius have a vault, if they even have it in the first place. If not, do I know what that, like, draconic rune is, or that fallen archgate? Because there's runes up there, right? Old runes that were, like, are kind of taboo.
You can make a history check.
Yep.
That's map I should know.
Wow.
What did you roll?
23.
23. So you're
Yeah, this is the map I have. I'll send you my thing.
and you're specifically asking for the Fallen Archgate or Mount Celeste?
Fallen Archgate. Do I know what that is?
Yeah, you kind of vaguely know what it is theorized to be. Never really got the exact answer, and you don't know if there is an exact answer. But it's believed that this central Mount Celestia itself and this mountain range isn't really a mountain range, or at least that a super mega structure was built on top of this mountain range, which was called for an archgate, which at some point crumbled during the war, and now people now see it as a mountainscape. So there's like a mix of a mega, maybe metropolis or something like that existed there and has crumbled.
Okay. Interesting. In the capital Brachiel, is that at the foot on like grassland?
It's more like on the slopes itself that lead up towards the mountains. Like if there's like the foot of the mountain, basically. So it's not.
Okay.
Okay, here I actually have a map with those
Perfect.
regional areas.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a little easier.
The Light Weaver's Path.
Mhm.
I was about to say,
Hold on a minute.
who are they, and why do they almost have our name?
Right. So Lady Kresh, who you should know Izarel, because
Yes.
she is very Fey-like.
Yes.
Under the Humanic Pantheon are the Sons of the Light Weaver.
Yep.
There is, oh boy,
A lot
I don't know if I
of
want
people.
to-
Yep.
There's 4. The Son of Day, Son of Memory, the Son of Virtue, and the Son of Regret. They all have names that have
Evad
Solus or Valus.
Solis, Dilit Solis,
Yes.
Urus Valus, and Navar Valus. Yes.
Yes, they're the Light Weavers, but not
Yes.
Fate Weavers.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
I may have inspired myself on them
Ah,
when I proposed the name.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, so we need to figure out anything about where this horn could be. The options I thought of is we could research the mount itself, just geography, history, that sort of thing. We can look more into the history of it being a fallen archgate. We can look into perhaps even the Herald's Peak. We can look into the capital if it's there. We can look into there's a location west of I don't know how to pronounce that, Glavosi. Do I know what that might be? That black square?
Oh yeah, the black squares. The squares are usually like trade outposts or like mining areas, kind of like either locations of civil interest, or where if there's a longer route, they usually had like small abodes where you could stay during high storms if you didn't want to get caught up. So these were like kind of west pits, west stops. Yeah, that's the word.
Okay. And then do I know from when I was in the Faith Guide Institute of Holy Preservation if there's any
Name
popular
drop.
archaeological sites? Old name drop.
If there are any popular archaeological sites,
Yes.
yeah, the entire continent.
The entire okay.
But
I guess one where
the
that would fit the pantheon. I
yeah,
guess.
so definitely Fallen Archgate and Mount Celestia is one that is specifically for interests of the divine and especially the Holy Religios. That is a big archaeological kind of treasure cove, and you know that because it is so frustratingly, big and just there, but almost
Perfect.
no one is allowed to go there. The entire mountain, as you know, is monitored by the Holy Religions.
Yeah, I know.
For a variety of
it's gonna be hard work.
reasons.
Lovely. Okay. And then other things we can look into. Vilk Sunhala, his creator is the Primus Artifacts. He is a scion who is a divine crafter. So we can look into just him in general, which I think would be insanely hard. I could legend lore it perhaps as well. And then the horn itself, we don't know its name. I'm guessing it's not just horn.
Yeah, I'm guessing it has a freaking.
Yes, that would be helpful just to know
the
its
freaking
name.
Estaniel's mental of pride. I mean, it's gonna have a freaking name. It's gonna be Tiamat's something of something or Tiamat's whatever.
Perhaps. And then yeah, besides that, Sardior, the Dracolith god. Learning anything might help as well. Because I don't know where they are, what happened after they fought Tiamat. Again, I could legend lore it, but I currently only have enough for one, so we'd have to buy more. So pick and choose. Try to find a lead. Mount Celestia is gigantic. I'm kind of hoping we don't find it anywhere near the capital. Do I know how tall it is, Jack?
Oh yeah, it's 20 kilometers. Oh.
We have climbing equipment when we went to the
Hold on.
ravine, so I guess that's good. Just 20 kilometers
Yeah.
tall.
That is
Yeah.
almost
Everest, Mount Everest is 9 kilometers.
yeah, a little less even. It's
So-
like 8.
So just so you know, Matt, it's 12 miles
Mhm.
high.
Okay.
Yeah, so
20 sounds better, so I'll stick with that.
yeah, so as reference, you can't live. You literally can't breathe if you're up there
Yeah.
because of the atmosphere. But as a reference, the atmosphere in this world is a little bit higher. So if you hear 8 kilometers in the air, it's not as bad as.
We
if
got
you
magic.
hear- And you got magic, so it's a little different. We are working with different scales.
Right. So how about if you two are fine going to the archive today, each one of you just tell me 1 or 2 subjects you want to research so I can look into something else. All of it will be incredibly difficult to find.
You pick the topics for us, I think. You choose what you want to research, what you're
I do
fancying right
everything,
now.
but we don't have time.
No, I know,
And
but
I hate.
I want you to be comfortable making, comfortable in the choices that we're all making here. So choose what each of us should be going for. Because I personally I have no base information on any of this. 0.
Right. Okay. Then there are 2 things I'd like you to research, Eirik, for now. Mount Celestia itself, its history, if there's mines, the physical aspects.
Physical aspects.
And obviously, maps. Any map other than one that gives 700
You're
miles.
the map finder of the group. Yeah,
Yes.
that makes sense.
Yep. Okay, that works.
So Mount Celestia, and then kind of a side topic, Sardur. I don't know if it's going to help us at all, but anything we can learn about them because they fought Tiamat. Like I said, they're a Dracolith god.
What's the spelling on that?
Gemstone. Sardior.
Oh, okay. I was close.
Let me go up in my notes here. Where's Sardior in this? So there. Yeah, they were under Basilius Valkyrion, that creator. I assume he made just all the dragons. It kind of feels like. Or not. Well, yeah. So those 2 are your subjects. Izarel, I'm gonna pair you with Glamour, and I'll poof him over here because I'm guessing we didn't teleport him because I don't need to.
Yeah, exactly.
He's gonna be your helper. You 2 are going to look into. Oh boy. Look into Vilk, Sanhala. Anything you find about them and their instrument, the horn. Focus on those 2 things.
And the horn.
Yep, is any information.
Hold on. I don't have the spelling of that one. Vilksanhaha.
I should have it all over my notes. Vilk.
One of the few I don't have.
I will go to part of my work notebooks and then copy and paste much text, and I'll send it to you in Discord. Let's put general. Boom.
Boom.
So I give you all of that notes just in case it helps. Because they're creator, they're scion, they're divine crafter.
Okay. And their instruments. Right. And then the horn.
Yep.
Perfect. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, take your time. Let's meet up. I need a rest for a little bit still before I can even start researching. Let's just meet up tonight. So you have all day to do your research as you will.
It's early evening, right? So we have a few hours.
It's like 4 a.m.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh.
literally all day, yeah.
Oh, okay. We literally have all day. All right. So, all right.
Yes.
Cool. So we'll meet like at sundown, and
Yes, exactly. And then compare notes.
perfect. Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Where, are we meeting here? Tower?
Tower.
Sure. Just to get fresh air.
Okay.
Good. Well then.
Fresh air after going to the Fae.
I mean,
Fresh air.
it is kind of good. You know, after the kind of very weird experience, it does feel like you're home again, you know? Like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't have to fucking deal with
It's like going to Bali for like a week or 2 weeks, and then coming home and being like, oh yeah, I'm sleeping in my own bed.
Mhm.
Yeah. Kind of like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you going there, going first to the library, or you chilling, or you immediately doing research?
I'm gonna rest just to get rid of all my exhaustion before I do any research myself.
We are pretty fresh off a long rest, so I can definitely just go.
Yeah. I think it's open 24/7.
It's usually my wake up time anyways, because I just meditate. So I'm pretty much always up at 4 a.m. anyway, so I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to go.
Okay, what about Irik?
Yeah, if she's going, I'm going.
Okay, and as well, you are accompanied by good old Gelama.
Yes.
I guess we'll start with you then, as you go to the very familiar walls of the archive. Haven't been here in a little while, so it does feel quite nostalgic as you arrive back in the kind of somewhat musky interior of the library. You do pass by O'Toole. And just gives you a warm smile and says, "Ah, it has been a while. So I hope you're doing fine."
Yes. We made it to the Feywild. It's something. Everything I expected and more.
I hope it was a pleasant journey then.
Pleasant is a word that could describe it.
There were parts of it that were.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. It was definitely interesting. It was a nice opportunity to learn. Yeah. I would say learning was the big word that describes it. Yeah. Learning about people that I thought I knew. Yeah. Interesting.
Sounds like
Yes.
a good time.
Yeah. I definitely did not almost die twice.
Okay. Okay. You just pat her hand and. Okay.
Well, I hope you can continue your searches here. And
Yes.
I know you've requested last time to speak with the master. I am glad to inform you, if you wish to still do so, he is open now. He completed most of his course and time.
You know what? I would like to speak with him if possible. Yes.
Oh, there any time wish that fit best?
Whenever he is available. At his earliest convenience. I'll be here all day.
I see. The usual endeavors, then, I see.
Yes, yes.
Very well. I shall send the master a message. I will let you know as soon as he is also available.
Great, thank you. That is very, very nice of you, O'Toole.
No problem. Have fun searching.
Thank you.
I just want to hug him.
He's the best. O'Toole is
Aw.
the best. He's absolutely the best.
Yeah. So as you say goodbye to your furry friend and step inside the library.
There it is. I was looking for my list of places in the library.
Yeah. Let me. So yeah. What are you looking for?
All right. I will go on the 8th layer. So in the ancient history, and I will, with the help of Glamour, I will try to find anything that I can find about Vilk Sanhala, the legends of Vilk Sanhala, reports of who they were or what they did. Basically try to get an understanding of this entity and their time here.
Yeah. Alrighty. Then yeah. Make your investigation advantage. Glamour.
Thank you, Glamour. I definitely need it. Holy shit.
I'm spooked to look.
It didn't.
Down.
It
Oh,
didn't.
It's in the log.
It's in
Yeah, I
the
see
log.
it. I've seen
Why-
worse.
Why is it rolling in the log? But
Yeah, and unfortunately,
it was.
Might have to refresh or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
And-
I'll
and
refresh.
I can't see the log, unfortunately.
Oh, it's 11.
Yeah. Yeah, I rolled a 2 and an 8. It's really not good.
Yeah. Oh, forgot. How many hours?
Probably like 4 hours
Yeah.
on that one.
Yeah, you spend 4 hours and you find absolutely nothing. Like not even the slightest hint or mention of even a familiar name that would somewhat relate to that. Is nothing. It literally nothing.
Okay. Okay. It's gonna be one of those days. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So after 4 hours, you feel pretty, yeah, kind of just drained at this. But usually you find like, you know, fragments or stuff like that that, you know, at least give you kind of scratch some of the itch, and this one was devoid, which also tells you a little bit about what you found.
Yeah.
But yeah, we continue with you. We'll just the entire day after.
Okay.
Though after 4 hours, what would happen is that O'Toole would kind of talk to you, and he said, I have communicated with the master. He is, and the way he communicates, by the way, he comes to you physically, so he's standing next to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would today evening do fine?
Perfect. That will do. Yes.
Do you wish to meet him here, in the librarium, or will he greet you at your own abode, Tower of Moon?
I will meet him at the tower. Yeah. If he wants to come see us at the tower, we can update him on our endeavors since the last time we've exchanged with him.
Very well. I should forward them. Please, continue searching.
Thank you.
Right. Okay, yeah. Then what do you want to do next? Let's say it's 3, you spent now 4, so it's now 7 o'clock. So probably do till 6 for you.
Yep. Okay, so I will spend the next 5 hours shifting my gear a little bit, and instead I will look for the divine crafters. So I'll try to widen up the research a little bit and see. Sorry about that. Yeah, trying to widen a little bit the search, because probably I was just too focused on trying to find his name, their name, like, specifically or anything, so I'll try to largen the scope a little and search for divine crafters and the history of the scions and all that. And still in ancient history.
Yep, right.
Right, advantage. That is much better. If it wants to post. It did not want to post. Nice. Sweet.
A lot better.
So fun. So fun.
21.
Yeah.
21. Alright. Yeah, you this time actually do find something, which is there's an awareness of the existence of some divine crafters, and you also find that Zephyrus had found a list of the scion names when he himself once went to hell, apparently. And you can see he sort of describes very similar and somewhat sketched out the same mural that you saw on the Hell Gate that you went to before you went to the Spear of Avernus. You can see the listings of the names and a different interpretation. You can see more notes have been added to give context to the scions. And the most interesting note that you find there specifically is that there seems to be a innate connection towards these gods with giants. Giants seem to have a kind of attunement towards it. There aren't a lot of giants left in the Sapphire's Plane. Most of them have also been wiped out by the Holy Religios or by the disaster that have transpired, the ages before. But some of them had some texts or old books or old scrollings that mentioned in the giant language certain things that can be interpreted as these divine crafters. And you can see after a bit more research, Zephyrus believes that there's a connection that the giants used to believe in these scions, that it was the gods of potentially giants. But not only giants, but he also then discovered that dwarves themselves and even gnomes seem to have an innate heritage that seems to also be somewhat connected to these divine crafters. That there's a certain expertise and craftsmanship that dwarves and gnomes seem to have that might stem from the connection towards there. And there you can also somewhat read that there's a theory of, that there was a great migration that took place, that these are the scions of probably a different place, a different continent perhaps. There's Zephyrus is also still very unsure of the specifics, but he kind of theorized that the gnomes, dwarves, and giants also perhaps might have migrated towards this continent ages ago and brought wisdom, some of their culture. The little bits that do remain that he managed to find in old scrollings of very old dwarven ruins that were found in Collis, that they also have signifiers, symbols, iconographies that once again can be interpreted to have stemmed from perhaps these divine crafters. Yeah, and at best of who they were or what they are is they seem to have been scions, means chosen by one of the gods, and that they were there to perform kind of like divine rituals or crafts, which is why they're each categorized being experts in their craft, as they are the kind of 6 gods of arts and crafting.
Okay. That's good. Alright.
Alright. Hours pass. So another 4 hours to go. If you... Yeah.
Yep. So the last 6 hours will be spent in the same spots. But this time I will be researching specifically Tiamat and her horn. What's the relation to it? Like, is it a horn, like a horn that was broken from her? Was it a tooting horn? Like, trying to understand like the relation, the horn and Tiamat. What's the importance to her with that, and what could have happened with it, what she did. So try to basically, yeah, make a big picture of that horn and if it had a name or, yeah, basically that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see here. Advantage roll. Not bad. That would be 16. So a little lower than the other one.
16?
Yes.
Yeah. You do actually find some things about it, a mention at least, which is also in some of the same area of the documentation you just found. As the only information that you have about the gods of arts and crafting are actually from Vilxanhala. And the reason why is because Anzephagus, once again, very distinctively wise monotone of theories that he hadn't had first-hand contact with it himself, but that there were ruins that were found and he heard about them in the early days that seemed to be related to Vilxanhala, as there were once again iconographies and symbols found, but very distinctively intertwined with draconic ones, almost as if, you know, there seems to have been like a mix of cultures that gathered in these ruins together, which is the kind of only time this has been like largely seen in any ruins. And what he specifically mentions that he didn't see is that an artifact was found, but it doesn't mention where. That's a striking part. But it was taken by the Holy Religios, which is why Zephygus doesn't have a lot of information, because they very specifically kept it classified and they transported this thing. The only thing he's certain is that it had something to do with Vilxanhala, that he knows that he is the one known to have crafted these divine instruments. And after some other research, you can see he added like almost like post-it notes towards this board that he found out about Tiamat and the connection with Vilxanhala. And he also writes down kind of you even see he writes like LL double dot. You like stand for a moment like, what does LL mean? And you're like, oh, probably like the wizard shortcut for legend lore. And then there's kind of like his own sort of little paragraph he wrote when he casted Legend Lore, which states that Filxanhala was tasked, and you get the same Legend Lore that Fiera already did, to create these divine instruments that were used to specifically put the heads of Tiamat to sleep. And there you very specifically read the reason why this was done. Zephyr theorized, once again, that isn't part of the legend lore, is that gods weren't able to kill gods. That was not something they were capable of. That's why the only way they would kind of restrain Tiamat was to return to eternal slumber. And yeah. And that he knows, because Tiamat has 5 heads, that there are 5 instruments known as the Pentasong keys were used to put her to sleep. But that is
Alright. Well, let's walk back to the tower then and get on with the meeting.
yeah, well, before that happens, obviously Irik's gonna do something, but that's where we're gonna take our break. Where Irik search. So see you guys
Pirate goes home.
for a second. He just
Bye.
he just buys a house. Lives a new
New
life.
character. Greg give us
Please
no
do better
mention.
than me.
Yeah, we'll see you guys in a quick second. Back to old habits we are. Good old Zephyr Archives. Alright, bye bye. And we're back. So, jumping right in. Irik. What
Yes.
are you searching for?
So as Iserel walks off to start her hunting, I'm gonna stay back for a second and just say to O'Toole, so before we left last time, I asked if you could have some of the scholars do some searching for me. Did anyone come up with anything?
Yes.
There's another. Here we again. Yeah. Could you just quickly remind me on what that was again?
Yeah, it was just if at any point, sort of in history or just writings of anything, has my name ever been written down? Is there any sort of pre-existing knowledge of me as a person? Have I been chosen for anything specific?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, he himself also kind of looks through notes, like takes out the paper. There have been several notations of your name specifically, but they concern the documents of registration. For example, the house near. Those exist. There are also filings from your time in Yeshimon. There are also obviously your birth records, parents, this. And that's the only other, I guess, strange thing that I was able to find is before you were born, did you know that your grandfather was a smith?
No, I didn't know that.
Well, you were supposed to inherit his smith's workshop.
Wow. Yet there was never any evidence to that at all.
I see. Well, he survived, I guess, longer than perhaps your parents assumed, or maybe it was that they left Yeshimon, that the contract was never, or not contract. Well, the papers were never signed. So when he did pass away, around during the time you were in Yeshimon, probably didn't receive notice as such.
Wow. That's interesting. I guess another thing that my parents chose to not disclose. Is there anything that you can give me now that might show me where this smith workshop was?
Yes. It was in Luna Ania.
Sure.
It was close to the home that you used to live at.
Wow.
Yes, it was owned by one Dosran Spanner.
Assistant, please.
Yeah.
Ah, close. I guess I'll have to go back to Suna and Ear and retrace some steps, maybe.
Yes. Kinda looks it over again. Maybe other important thing of perhaps why your your parents didn't wanted you to have direct contact with him. He seems to have also been somewhat involved in the Otaku.
Ooh. Okay, that was Greg making that sound.
You can see that Otoras is like reading this. At some point, he like kind of just squints his eyes and he kind of looks at you. Kind of looks at the thing.
What? Is something wrong?
Well, I'm a bit confused. This might have just been a miswriting, though it would be a very cruel joke if it was so. Just says that his recorded race is a dragonborn. Which I don't. Well, explain why they are.
What?
But and that's why he's like looking, and he looks at you.
It.
But your parents, as I could see in their birth records, are human.
That's yeah, I mean, I've come to realize now that there is plenty of magic to go around. So maybe oh boy.
Well, if they can transmute themselves fully into humans, that is a powerful spell, to say the least.
Maybe it wasn't them who did it.
That, of course, very true.
But that's not for you to worry about. That you don't need to burden you with my family history.
Well, I'm glad you could have some new insight about your own past. Is there anything else you would perhaps request some of our researchers to look into?
Right now, no, but I'm sure I can probably come up with something else. If they've found this, I mean, they do good work, so I'll do some thinking.
Very well. Let me know if there's anything else that might pique your curiosity while you're...
Much appreciated, O'Toole. See you soon.
Like searching.
Holy crap. Okay. Okay. Park that information for a minute. Gonna go down to... We're gonna go down to... I'll start in bronze level geography, and I'll spend 6 hours looking through that to see. I want to look for almost like trip reports, like people who have gone sort of adventuring. They come back and write where they went, like what did they see, specific routes that have been taken, what are the most high traffic, destinations, very sort of just base level information about recent exploration on the mountain. 6 hours of that.
Right. Anyone? Yeah, rather quickly you find that there, first of all, aren't many, and if at all, it's never on the mountain itself. You only find documentations about people wanting to go there, but then getting either caught because they were trying to sneak, or specifically told by guards of the Holy Religions that they aren't allowed to continue further. And you quickly, just by reading several papers or reports of, adventurers or researchers and archaeologists kind of being very extremely frustrated that they aren't even allowed close to the premises, so they can only view the mountain from a distance. You do, however, also find, other than that there is kind of a path that is somewhat well aware of or somewhat well known, which is the Pilgrim's Path, which a soldier or Holy Crusader has to do if they want to become a light commander. And that is, they have to kind of ascend the entire mountain and reach the peak and then return back down. But what that path is, nobody knows other than, selective members of the inner circles from the Holy Religions. And all outside accounts that aren't, Holy Religions themselves, don't have any inside information towards this mountain. The only things you do find that kind of speak about this mountain are from the Holy Religions. And you very kind of quickly note just your general intellect. You're cautious about what they're telling there because they have no reason to be accurate in what they're telling. And they very often say that this is a holy mountain, it's a holy site. Only chosen members are allowed to even, be graced to walk or be even in the vicinity of the mountain. That's a holy area. Obviously, the capital was built. And, that it's off limits to anyone who's not a documented member of any given selective church or priesthood. Which lets you know, it's like, okay,
it's a mountain, but they seem to protect it. And they do say that, you know, it was there where the holy texts were found at the foot of the mountain, and that other celestial kind of artifacts and or monuments were discovered, which led them to believe that this is a grand holy site that can only be perceived or witnessed by those who themselves are of the same faith and holiness. And that's all you get. There.
I mean, that's fair. Didn't expect a whole lot more. We're going to go to... so that was 6 hours, 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. So from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., 4 hours, I'd like to be in the silver level and go to the unpublished books and frowned upon people sections and look for things about Sardior and Dracolith connections. Yeah, just focusing on Sardior.
Alright. Station 18. Yeah. You don't see the name even mentioned once in these 4 hours. And it seems like an obscure figure. No one has even attempted to write about them. And that's all you get. It's like, okay, it's just a
Great.
name. Which, once again, gives you some information or hint about the nature of what you're trying to look at, but definitely
Yeah.
seems nothing that is well, not even
I'm going to then, let's look at, go back here. I'm going to take, okay, so it's 2 p.m. 2 to 6, that's 4. I'll do 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7. Probably another 6 hours before we meet up again. So, okay, I'll do another 4 hours down in the ancient history section and the gold level, and I'll do the same thing as I did with the geography section, looking at Mount Celestia, its surrounding areas of ancient times. You know, same thing. Who went there first? Who, you know, places where these relics might have been found. Old settlements that aren't there anymore. That might be like points of interest to get to. That the Lichnius might not be, might not want people to know of. Things like that.
Yep. Alright. 26. Hell yeah. Yeah. It once again becomes rather apparent that not a lot of people had the privilege to kind of get to see Mount Celestia. That is because the Holy Lichnius were the ones who kind of arrived here first, after which they discovered the kind of holy texts. A little history reminder, because, you know, the entire civilization was forced to live in caves for an extended period of time after the Angelic War happened. Because demons were roaming around in the high storms, they weren't able to protect themselves. Until then, some people decided, on a whim, the Holy Lichnius say, some were called by some premonition of a light that would guide them out of the Age of Darkness, that led them out of the caves, after which they discovered these texts, which this happens to be at the foot of Mount Celestia. So at the very beginning even, the mountain was already seen as this holy site, since it was kind of, it drew the people there. However, in those early days, and it's around the same time where, you know, kind of black magic started to pop up, and any sort of magic, where the Holy Lichnius didn't have a very strict rule or judicious creed about what magics are allowed to use. It was still in the early infants of, you know, spreading and developing. That some people and some scholars were able to kind of get to that that place. And you very specifically see, of course, Levigus was one of them, but he writes in like one of his older documentations that he's released here to the public about the theories of Mount Celestia and its geographical importance to perhaps the older Imperium and what it was used for. You can see that from the structures he was able to glean and see that it must have been some sort of mega structure, perhaps a mega metropolis that was used by the emperors back in the day as perhaps like a political hub. However, his notes kind of very abruptly stop here, but you can see that he put like a sticky reminder note, perhaps for himself, because there's a very small file you find kind of in one old dusted corner in the library, where he just says S9, which with your intelligence kind of refers to, and you've seen this note several times, that he's referring to, that he's placed whatever continued information in his private sectors, because apparently some information inside of there would be too revealing if public access would be granted to perhaps a holy figure who wouldn't like what he saw or said. So with the 26, you definitely find that he himself, Levigus, what he discovered is on lock as well.
Okay, well, with that information, that changes my next, my last 2 hours. I'm gonna go right down to the bottom, right down to Platinum, and look for that specific document.
Alright, make an investigation check.
+5.
Alright. Yeah, you go down the tool again. He says hello. And gives you another good luck searching. Gonna go to the section of him. Also, that's ancient history, or specifically angelic war, even. Since it seems to be very strongly connected to that. And going through the files, indeed, you see the kind of page that was missing, which is a sketch he made of the mountain when he visited it. And very specifically the peak, because he notes that the first 10 to 15 kilometers are of little interest. It's just a regular mountain. There are some special magical effects that happen at certain sections of the mountain. And, you know, there are other greater archaeological interests that can be found there. However, what really piqued his interest was what he discovered at the top. And I will simply show you, and only you.
Oh, my heart.
What you find.
Again with the secrets.
Yeah, if
It'd be like some
Arik gets all of the secrets.
like sinner up there in like some broken pose, like just suffering for all eternity. This is what happens to you.
yeah, I have to.
Have faith.
Okay, but yeah, edge of the top parts of the mountain, around estimated what it says here is like the last of 10 to 5, an estimated range. It's a very vague sketch, but it lists out several key locations that he found. And then again, I should show you. It's complicated. Go. There. Now that's a reaction I like to see.
Shut up. Oh my god.
I didn't think what could actually be there.
Okay.
Oh my god. I'm copying it all down. all the words.
Holy crap.
Oh, if it's text in Celestial, that'd be really funny. Because then you'd have to tell me.
Okay, so what
Which it could be.
what do you do after this then, Eirik? Guess to end this.
He's just a jock.
He's in charge.
Holy, oh my god. Yeah, I'm like running. Biotool!
Have a nice day.
Thanks.
There's a sign with the Fate Weaver's name at the top of Mount Celestial. You die on this day.
A premonition. Maybe it is us. Bad as that. Alright, then, and you're just spending the time by yourself here since we are zooming away from Alex renting the library stairs up. Gonna burn a couple of there. Anything in particular you are doing, Fiera, in your time?
Yeah, so I pretty much have noon until they come get me. Oh god, let me get rid of my exhaustion. I need my rolls. Yeah, I'll fast forward as much as I can. So Tower Word, I have the treasury open. I'm gonna just about empty it. I'm gonna grab the polished Medic's Fire Chrysalis. I'm gonna grab the Exilus Earth Chrysalis. I'm gonna grab the rubies, emeralds that are in the chest. Leave all the diamonds. Just everything's going in my satchel. And then going to teleport and go to Hasvan.
Okay. Alright.
And my goal there, I want to see what I can get. I want a price on the Exilus Earth Chrysalis and all the rubies and emeralds I have to see if it's a fair price. Because I know they probably have gems here, but I just want to see how much I would get for those.
Alright, so just make a persuasion check.
Oh, I still have exhaustion. Hold on. I think I have to click it each time. Do I want to chrono shift? I'll chrono shift. These are not the emeralds you see. Those are the emeralds you see.
Okay. So you have a bunch of gemstones, correct?
Yeah, what I wrote down is a 50 gold ruby, a 70 gold emerald, and 500 gold worth of random emeralds.
Yeah.
So 620 total.
Yeah, so 620 is the accurate estimated cost of that, but with your kind of blinking eyes and very persuasive nature, you would squeeze just because of their rare nature and being able to buy them on the market. You could, and because they're uncut, so cutting them could even boost their value. So go to one of the kind of salesmen.
I have a jewelry kit. Would it take a long time to do that myself?
Yes. You could like spend.
Okay, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, it would like take
A day.
for one jewel.
Oh, okay, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's very precise and
Nope.
meticulous. Well, that's why the price you're setting is good and allows, and you can convince the other ones to, you know, spend more money than what they're actually worth right now, because you can say, but if you cut them, you will be able to sell them for more. So for that, you can get an easy 800 for all of the gems. The chrysalis, surprisingly, as you know, ask around, the prices have heavily dropped. Because now the news has been spreading that the high storms aren't thing anymore, so they can't be charged anymore. So there may be a one-time use battery, and people are worried about whether or not they are like a liability since they can explode. And what that now means that there's no high storm. Are they now more dangerous? Are they less dangerous? And stuff like that. And it's already just talking around with the people, and that's something that most salesmen don't want to say. But you know, you manage to convince them to give you a little bit more information that there's been a heavy decline in the power output of most of the chrysalises. And that some of them even, once you sap out the entire energy, which usually means it would explode if you sap out all the energy. They're just dead, and they're kind of like pretty rocks now. So they almost go value-wise more in the category of gemstone. They still seem to be extremely good magical conduits, similar to gemstones, and are very highly attuned with the elements, but their innate magical properties that they used to have seem to be fading over time. So you have a Medax and a Exilis, right?
Well, the firewood I'm not trying to sell, but the Exilus Earth one, I just want to get like a price for it.
Yeah, you would get around now, since it still has some energy left inside of it, you guys didn't use it, would go for like 500 gold.
Okay. After getting those two, can I look for a price for Onyx?
Yeah. Depends how big of an Onyx you want.
The spell doesn't really say quantity. Let me see.
Does it just say
Where's my 8th level spells?
an Onyx?
It says a shard of Onyx and something else, which is consumed.
My handy dandy list here.
Because I either want a lot of shards or a big piece that can break into shards, or, you know.
Where is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, well, you can find an Onyx. The cheapest one you would find is for 2.
Like, how big is it, I guess?
It's not that big, it's, like decently sized.
Oh, so that would probably be one casting.
You would assume you could probably break it up into several shards, since it's a full Onyx. It's not a shard.
Could I ask them to do that? If it's from a jeweler or smith, to like break it into pieces I know each would be able to be used for the spell?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Yes, and with this, able to at least 5 parts, 5 shards.
Okay, 5 shards. Okay. I guess I'll ask him, if I wanted bulk Onyx, where could I get it?
Bulk Onyx, you say? Well, it's usually...
I'm experimenting.
It's not very sought after gemstones, so we don't get a lot of them around here, because somewhat affiliated with
Right.
the dark nature. Most of them come from very deep underground. Where the corruption comes from.
Oh, so like the reach. Oh boy, I can't remember the name.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah,
The biggest mine. Yes. Okay.
exactly.
That goes as deep as possible. And
Just between you and I, you know, some people believe that Shadowmancers use this to powers, which is why it's a little illegal.
it's illegal.
Well, certain quantities, because if you're like going around trying to buy. Hold on a
Oh
sec.
well, I'm just. I've heard that the Exilus Chrysalises aren't as potent, so I'm trying to find a new supply, and this seems cheaper. So I'm experimenting.
I see. Well, you might have to go a little bit underground deals to find a nice supply of onyx, because that's where all the stuff
I
goes
see.
if you can sell it up top.
Okay, well, thank you very much for this piece. Should be able to figure some things out.
Anyway, if you need another cotton, just let me know.
Then I'll just back away and cast Sending to Eirik. Do you have any use for the Earth Chrysalis, rubies or emeralds in the tower? I want to liquefy.
Oh, stop my running. I don't know when you sent this during the day. No. I'll respond.
Probably a couple hours before that.
Okay. I'll respond. Immediately, no. Still could use the chrysalis for experimentation for anything that comes our way, but no plans.
Okay. So in a second, why not? It seems chrysalises aren't recharging anymore and are becoming much less potent. Maybe the earth one may be more useful as gold for other research.
Yeah, I suppose we can do a lot better things with money. We don't have the space to do such experiments. Sure.
Okay. And then to Izrael, any plans for the ruby or emeralds in the tower? Looking to liquefy. Keeping diamonds. Oh, one.
Looks really good. No, book that.
It takes a second before you hear go crazy.
Go crazy. Okay, I will sell the jewels for the 800. I'll keep the earth crystals.
Alright.
And then before I leave, I have one more thing to do. I'm gonna fly out of, or I guess walk out of town, and then fly a good distance. Whatever my 10 minutes gets me.
Roll a d20.
Make sure. Roll a d20. Okay. 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 Woo! That was almost a 1. We got 15.
Okay. Try out.
That was a pretty dice.
I know.
And
I changed it.
nothing. Man, I'm missing out. I don't see anything.
Good. Okay. Just make sure nobody is in view, that kind of thing. Find a secluded area.
Yeah. Enough.
Lovely. Azathia not to do this there, so I will summon my devil buddy
Okay.
after casting tongues.
Okay. And he appears. The stench of sulfur turns and kind of warm glow, which is actually now kind of nice since it's, so cold here in
Well,
Australia.
I have cold resistance.
That's true, and fire resist. So yeah, it's just kind of moderate temperature for you right now.
Perfect.
And he kneels before you.
Okay. I don't know if this will work, but in the future, you don't need to kneel before me. I have no interest in that kind of thing.
He remains kneeled.
Wonderful. So things have changed. I need to know if I can count on you, or you want me to leave you alone for the rest of time. For that to happen, let's restart. I am Fiera Kron. I'm a chronomancer. I do consider this place my home, but I do have an interest in living with all beings, whether we get along or not. I think we all deserve to have our stories continue. Tell me your name and a little bit about you.
Kind of rises up now. Stands before you. You can see his skin is almost like perpetually molting off of his body. And you can see small embers always floating off. The kind of crooked horns coming out of his head. His kind of somewhat sunken eyes that glow like bright embers. And kinda looks at you a little bit quizzically. And I should make a persuasion check here. That's me go.
Persuasion. Okay. Inspiration. I had a long rest.
Yeah. So that's for.
How long? Okay, sure.
He says,
I appreciate your compassion for my suffering. I have met many a creature, a person that has attempted the same. All to no avail. I shall reserve my hopes for you when I can see progress in the goal you have. Until then, I shall abide by the chains that summon me here.
Interesting. Guess I do have a large goal and ambition. You said you don't know about the gateway that is being constructed here from Avernus?
No.
Well, I've dug deep. I've talked to many. I've made a deal with Tiamat. I promised to obtain the artifact she wants. I believe that's why they constructed the gateways, is to invade and get the artifact to wake one of her heads, of course. But I told her I would do it. And if I did it, there would be... I don't know about rewards, but... a mutual respect for one another. So that me and her can talk, rather than just kill. I want to know about her past, and I want to make sure she has a future. I'm sure you know that she wants to destroy all divinity.
You are more foolish than I thought. You talk to us as though we could think with the same leveled composure that you can. I wish not my pain on any soul. It is mine, and mine alone to suffer. But to expect from me and those who have suffered for so long to act in rationality and compassion. Just shows me how blind you are to human nature.
Blind. You should have seen me 1 year ago. I knew nothing. Since then, I think I've made great strides. And in the next year, even further. No, I don't know all your pain and suffering. I barely know what's happened in the past, but I am trying. I want to learn all your stories.
The more you learn, the further away you drift from us. You must learn about your own pain first, before you can even attempt to understand ours. I shall make it very simply. Imagine your home. Imagine your people you love, trust. All taken away. Burned for all eternity. How would you think then? Would you still strive for peace, while those responsible for the pain and suffering still rule the lands? While you can still hear the screams of the torment of the people who you fought with, who shared the same goals and aspirations. And you'll tell me after you experience that, you'd be willing to listen to someone who offers peace. To who? Who gets peace? If you can tell me what you would do after I would kill every single person you care about, and your answer is you want to make peace with me, then we can talk again. 'Cause this is how I feel.
Guess that would be my trial. I would hope I have the strength to still ask for that, but I do not know.
If you do, I would follow you to the end of light. 'Cause I know I am not that strong. And I live to punish those who have wronged me.
Interesting. Well then, proposition. So next time I summon you, you know what to expect. I'm going after the artifact. There may be people in my way. I believe there's a way to keep you here for a number of days. Would you be willing not to follow me, but to stand beside me and my party and see what unfolds? Defend us if you want. Stand and watch if you want. I don't care. But I do think there is a future for you that I can present.
I wish to kill the gods and everything that is divine.
I don't have a lot of time. Let me think. Maybe I can give you what you want. Maybe we can both be whole. I'll summon you tomorrow. And whoosh.
See his flesh gets torn off, and the skeletons then also burn to ash as he fumbles away, disappears in obscurity.
How do I redeem all the devils? God, I don't know if I have time to help redemption when I die in 30 days.
Of course you don't have time.
But it'd be cool to have him with us. He's pretty strong. He's a loose
Just collect
cannon.
side characters like Pokemons to follow us on our adventures. Like, no big deal.
Yeah. Okay. I'll add the date. Well, I have the fire chrysalis. Can I just pull it out? Do I need to attune to it to use it, or how's the crystals work?
It's a material, so you have to install it into something that can take the energy out, or you can try and straight ability check to try and control it with your own powers, but you know that comes with it.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'll hold it in my hand, and then with the other hand, I just want to try to create a flame using the chrysalis.
Fine. Great intelligence.
What do I have left? I have one chrono shift left. Okay.
12.
Okay.
Yeah, you kind of
Okay.
use it and focus on it, similar to how you do it with your focus, your spellcasting focus. And
Mhm.
you know, it's a rather large chrysalis of fire that you know has the potential to destroy an entire village if it's haywire. And you try to attune to it, and
Mhm.
you kind of open up your hand, and you can see a tiny fire comes out, and you're feeling that you're sapping the energy out of the fire chrysalis, but you're having a little bit difficulties. It's a bit not what you used to use, stab it so much in Shadowmancy that like normal magic feels like a little bit unfamiliar now with you using this flame. You know that there's more you can do with this, probably even to the extent
Yeah.
that you see Eric do, but that's the best you can
Okay.
get out there.
And besides a high storm, I've never heard of a way to recharge them.
Not directly, because there was never the incentive to find out, since you know the high storms were very frequent, so it never even got to the point where you know they got sapped. And the other thing is they usually recharge themselves, so it made even less sense to try and figure out how they would charge. So yeah, you can make an Arcana check to try and figure out if you can.
Yeah, I'll fiddle with it a little bit.
Away. 21. Yeah, pretty good. You get the sense, yeah, certain types of just elemental magics they might be able to absorb, but it has to be, you know, the it's like equivalent exchange. So you could basically put like a fireball inside of there, and then there's as much fire power as in thing. So you give, you take. That's the only way how anything works.
Yeah. Okay.
Or the other one would be putting it in a natural environment that has a lot of the elemental energies. Submerges into magma, of course, it has the potential to absorb some of that heat. However, you assume that that might be a little bit slower, since it, you know, has to kind of transfer the normal elemental magic into magical energy, which then keeps inside. You estimate, like, yeah, you could probably leave this in, guessing magma maybe for like a day or two, and then it would kind of create the same energy as a fireball.
Okay. I think that's it for my chores. Yeah, I think that's good for today. I will teleport, circle back. No, I'll just teleport back with my 8th level slot and chill in the tower.
Alrighty. You appear there. And back. Archives. After which, slowly but surely, you would all convene together. First, probably Israel comes, and then at some point, the door slams open as a out-of-breath Eirik stumbles inside.
Hi.
Ziphigus should be here anytime now. I did arrange a meeting with him.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Looks like you
Great.
ran, Eirik.
Yep, a little bit. Lots to unpack. But
Oh, good.
the mountain, he's been to the mountain. Zephygus has been to the mountain. He knows what's up there.
Oh,
Okay.
There's a
that makes
ton up
sense.
there. There's a lot up there.
a lot.
I'm gonna pull out my list of sketched or of writing
Scribbles.
that I took off the sketch. I'm just gonna rifle off the names of the things that were labeled on the sketch that I saw. Graves of the Imperium, ruins of Lanziax, a Grand Decian entry hall, Hand of Azazel, Boulder Titan remains, Fallen Wall of Nosax, Star Halo Shard, Floating Earth Cliff, Holy Fire of Zachiel, Cratered Peaks of Asbiel. At the very top, there's a celestial spear,
That's a lot, sure.
and y'all, there's a petrified dragon up there.
Huh. Oh,
Petrified, so not dead.
Y'all,
I wonder if it's Sardior or another.
yeah, by the way, no mention of Sardior in that entire archive
I'm not
that I
surprised.
found in 4 hours of research.
It makes sense.
There, y'all, we gotta go
Y'all.
back. You have to see the sketch.
I want to see it. Yes. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we can just go there.
I mean, Zephygus is going to be here anytime now. So it's gonna have to wait a little bit.
Where was
Also-
the sketch at? Was it?
Oh,
Was it in the
yep,
lowest floor?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Yep,
well,
it
we can
was
just do this there.
in it was in his special library.
Interesting.
I might be related to a dragonborn.
Excuse me?
Might be.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
I kind of thought it was a given with your scales.
Oh, I
Well-
thought that was the chrysalis.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's kind of what I thought. I thought there was just some like external influence happening, and like whatever the power that was inside the chrysalis that exploded caused whatever. But
I did not have time to confirm or deny my suspicions, but I wanted to start looking at some point about that. Because those knights, those, you know, the
The Darkon Knights.
yeah, Darkon knights, you know.
yeah, I have a weird suspicion. Okay, so from the beginning, I'll start. Before we left last time, before we left the archives, I went to O'Toole. I asked O'Toole to get some of the scholars to look at information about me. If there was ever documentation of me as a person, as an entity, as whatever throughout history. Nothing crazy, which is, I guess, good. I'm not some like 600-year-old.
Expecting something crazy?
No, well, not. I don't know if I was expecting something crazy, but just the way things happened, I was starting to think that maybe the fact that the chrysalis exploded on me, or the forge exploded, I had this suspicion that maybe something was planned, that someone somewhere wanted to do something to like mark me or to choose me for some purpose. I was just feeling something. Anyway, I asked O'Toole. He got people to look up information. Apparently, my grandfather was a dragonborn. And he worked in relation or in conjunction potentially with the Untergrund in Sunanir, and he was a smithy. My only assumption at the moment, with no other information and running on pure adrenaline right now, is that what if he was serving whoever the Daracon Knights are? What if...
We never saw a Dragonborn in Sunanir. Not one, right?
There are
believe so.
rumors. There are rumors that they are around, but you know, they.
Like I said to O'Toole, though, there's a lot of magic that can keep things disguised and hidden. We have seen this.
True.
Yes. And as we know, Dragonborns are not the most welcomed.
No, not anywhere really.
So the underground of Sunanir would be a good place to hide if you were a Dragonborn trying to lay low.
Precisely. He evidently had a workshop in Sunanir that was, according to the research done by the scholars, that workshop was supposed to be given to me.
Follow-up question. Is there a death record for your grandfather?
In the underground?
As in, is he still alive and perhaps hiding?
Well,
That's a good point.
with what O'Toole said, it seems to be implied that maybe he is dead. That when my parents rushed off to Yeshaman with me, whatever contract or whatever was supposed to be done to hand over that workshop was just nullified. It was void because nothing transferred hands because we were gone. His assumption based on that information is that he's probably dead, but I have no idea.
Again, if he's a Dragonborn trying to lay low, faking his own death is also a possibility.
Maybe.
If he's...
Oh my god.
But-
Did my accident happen at his workshop?
Possibly.
How old were you?
You were a child, right? You
I
were
was a
young.
child. Specifically.
Were you like 4, 5, 6? Something like that?
Hold, please. 9.
9.
I was 9. They brought... I was just... Because I was young, I was basically under other people's watch. I was just like they went somewhere, they took me with them. If everybody else knew, what if everyone else knew and they brought me there specifically for that purpose?
So, which grandfather is it?
My father, by name, presumably.
So he would be your father's dad, your father's father.
Yes.
Your parents are still alive, correct?
I was about to say, I would just ask them.
From what we know, they're still alive.
Of course, from what we
And
know.
yes,
but
Shimon.
Yeah, from what we know. Yeah.
what we know
Obviously.
is very
Vague.
little.
Yeah.
The last interaction I had with them was
Well, you
the
tried to cast
dream.
sending.
No, but that was before when we split, before the high storm happened. When I got darted in the
that's
neck,
right.
I had my fight against my dad. That was
Right.
in whatever dream sort of alternate reality. That was the last interaction. Other than that, tried sending, didn't work. Other than that, when we were in hell and I was going insane, they were just there yelling at me in my head. I have no reason to believe they're dead, but I also have no reason to believe
That they're
That they're
alive.
alive.
We have options, because obviously this is interesting, and you should probably find out your heritage. We have sending. We have dream.
I can scry on them. I
We
can
have
try
scry.
to scry on them at least. It might not work, but I can try.
Mhm.
what do I have that would
Maybe-
help you?
Also, we should probably take a day, because this is a lot.
Yeah,
Yep.
it is a lot of information. That is a lot to learn about yourself like that.
I would say figure out what you want to do with that information.
Yes.
I want to
Obviously,
go
one
back to
help.
Sunanir.
Soon in here. Oh boy. Technically, I could teleport us there, probably.
Whether it's doable, whatever. I'm just saying that's
That's what you want to
Right.
where we've never gone back. Well, we
I
have,
went back
but-
for an hour.
Okay.
Also,
Fine.
Jennifer's there, and we should. She seems to. I don't know. She's helpful.
You hear a knock at the door.
Okay.
right on cue.
Mage hand, turn the knob, open it up.
Open it up. There, standing in all his splendor, a tall,
Is Helix.
long,
Please
You can
don't.
summon it if you want to.
robed outrage. Helix, no. Zephygus, you can see he has this long silver beard, flowing silver hair, draping all the way almost down to his robes. And he
I try
seems-
to hide my necklace. I panic. I try to adjust my robe in the perfect way, just tuck it under.
He seems to be wearing more casual robes. He doesn't have such much filigree, and usually has some sort of shoulder pole and so on, which he doesn't have. Seems more like a nightgown. And he is.
Wait, Weavers. It has been a while. May I come in?
Yes,
Please,
welcome.
please, welcome. Come in. I can make some tea for us, if you wish.
Yes, please. That would be most kind.
Perfect.
Steps
I'll
inside.
prepare some tea.
How does he look compared to last time?
Looks
Any different?
as far as you can tell,
Yep.
not. Actually, make a investigation check.
Oh, Jesus, I'm giving all the eyes here. 24.
Ooh.
24. No.
Okay.
He just walks over and yes.
So, Fate Weavers, you were very adamant about reaching me. Apologize for the lack of availability that I could offer.
You understand.
Then, I guess, what is it that you wanted to call me for?
Well, it seems we are following in your path a bit. We went to the Fae, kind of helped that realm, I guess, whatever you want to call it, the overlay of our planet.
We were successful with the key.
As I can tell,
Yes.
I had no doubts that you were up for the challenge.
It was not easy. I will be honest. It challenged us quite a bit. But I think we can all agree that it also helped us grow quite a bit.
Right, then. So, are you here to update me on current state? See, do you have any more information about the infernal invasions that are due soon?
We know what they
Yeah,
want.
Yeah.
The horn of Vilksanhala, one of his instruments.
Would I have missed as well?
Yes, and we believe the best method, rather than just destroying the gateway, because they would just return or find another method,
They would
is
just
to
make a
try
new
to.
gateway.
They were planning to make two, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, rather than fighting the war, trying to find a way to end it by getting the artifact ourselves, putting it under better protection, or find an alternative method so that they stop seeking it. No devil invasion if there's no horn to retrieve.
And there is only no horn to retrieve when the horn is in their possession. Otherwise, there is still a horn to retrieve.
Well,
For
I'd
the
rather
record,
they.
I said that. I said that. That's what I. You and me.
I'd rather
I
they
guess.
chase us rather than an army fights Chaldeans and many die. If it's more of a us versus Tiamat thing, then only one or two lives need to perish, or hopefully none.
That is optimistic that you would believe that they would be so loyal and dualist agreement. I have yet to see the reason that would convince the Infernal Army not to come to our plane, as you willingly choose to go to hell. See a reason. They wouldn't follow.
The current plan is to retrieve the horn, and then if the gateway is still an issue, we will deal with that. We just want to prevent a war. Because obviously, if they mean to have two gateways to sail Mount Celestia, the entire continent will just become a war ground between devils that are constantly reinforcing and everybody else as collateral damage.
And your plan then to stop this is by retrieving the horn, then?
Start learning. Learn more about Tiamat. Learn more about what changed her and why she wants her current objective, which seems to be destroy all divinity, and find an alternative. Because currently, if all we do is close a gateway, is this war continues for forever. Something needs to change.
So you are taking a risk.
Yes. But not one. I think it's necessary.
I am not here to judge the decisions you have made. I am just making sure that you are fully aware of perhaps the path you might be taking.
I mean, I can't imagine what it took to change Tiamat in the past. But if a creature like that, who was once good, can change, I believe they can change again.
I have no doubts about the abilities of change. I do have doubts, however, about the timeline which is required for that to happen.
To be fair, that's what I said.
Once again, I am not here to judge. I also do not think that the idea of Fiara, bad idea, is a very ambitious one that requires a lot of right circumstances to be accomplished without major sacrifice. The largest risk I see that you are undergoing right now is the risk of time. You are placing things in the order that you hope how they are going to happen. However, what if the invasion happens while you're still searching for information that help you understand Tiamat better? Have you considered this?
How can I put it? In my perspective, because I kind of did pull the other two into this. Shocker, I know.
Age after all.
He gives a small smile.
There is a much larger picture going on that I don't want to be ignorant to anymore. The biggest example is in the Fae, a creature called Magla, an Empyrean, was destroying it. This was a change. They were good for who knows how many hundreds or thousands of years, but something changed them to decide to destroy the Fae. Same thing happened with the War of the First Sinners. There's a bigger picture, and I want to know why, and I want to work against that. I don't want to stem the bleeding. I want to work toward the solution. And I can't do that if we don't learn more. And having Tiamat just be an enemy means we can't really learn anything, because they won't work with us. So yes, there will be risks, but I do think we're up for it, even though there will be sacrifice.
That is completely understandable. I just want you completely aware of the potential sacrifice you're putting on the line. Which, I will tell you, as a mage, it is easy to put the lives of others on the table when your own isn't at stake. Though I sense a certain aspect of this that might have tied you to patriots following you, though the details of it may remain a secret, not to tell me. However, and you can see that he specifically looks to Eirik and Isra, whatever you read upon, accomplish it to do, there are two scenarios that are gonna happen. Whether you want to incorporate, now here again, the bigger picture or not. It's very simple. There's either devils invade, they don't. Now there are a multitude of ways how any one of these two situations could occur. There is, of course, the outcome that Fiera finds information that would change Tiamat's mind, stop the infernal invasion. There also is the possibility that during your search, your eyes are misaligned, don't find the right information, and the devils do invade during that time. None of these does it truly matter what the bigger picture is. Because in one, hundreds of thousands of lives are saved. The other died. This
Have you been watching the Gateway's progress?
I have. And it's not looking in your favor.
Do you know how many days till it's fully stabilized?
At best, what you have is 5 days. At worst, 2. Which is why I also wish to talk to you, to find a way, a more efficient means of bringing this to an end. Because I believe, as ludicrous as it might sound, Fiera, you might have the only slight chance with the idea you have. I don't think through physical means we are able to stop the infernal penetration. They have already gathered their forces.
We might have been able to... If us and the Starbringers and Force went there at this moment, maybe we could do something, but...
With tremendous risk. Yes, perhaps. Though, as you say, we would be able to stop them from our side. They have ample opportunity to continue their work on the other side.
Mhm.
But if you are indeed able to manage, get the horn, you have two options that would prevent them from spilling over here. Either go to a different plane. As such, they would feel no need to follow up on what your goal is. Or secondly, more difficult and one I would say it's a little bit more possible of a task is convince them it's on a different plane.
Well, I can tell you now. Once I get the horn, I plan to go straight to Avernus. Bell has promised a meeting with me, and I believe I can meet with Tiamat on safe terms as well. Can I insight check him after I said that?
Yeah, you can. It's like Jacob.
Is he looking at a baby saying they can save the world, or? Yes. Oh, okay, 10.
10. He's usually very, and he still is like very composed. He doesn't like, you don't see like a reaction of like, bro, you fucking dumbass. Instead, his brain always seems to immediately go, this is the scenario. How do you deal with it?
Oh.
So he's like saying, okay, like he as a mage understands from other mage there is some larger goal that you're trying to accomplish with the content given him. He can see the threads that you're trying to follow. And you assume a mage as big as him, probably in his lifetime, also does it.
I hope so.
So
Yep.
you can see him kind of just squint his eyebrows again, and looks at you again, and he says,
Not my recommended line of procedure, I should say.
oh, you muted.
Ezra?
We told her. We definitely told her.
It hasn't happened yet. I'm just saying that is my current plan.
I would recommend before you talk to any of the infernal rulers, you get a very clear understanding of their intentions
Yes.
before you fall right into their hands. You are now thinking about what Tiamat would do with the horn. Have you considered what Bel would do with the horn? It is an extremely powerful artifact, and it can be used in ways we don't understand.
Mhm. No, I fully agree.
So maybe once you get the horn, it should be a little bit further down the list before you decide to meet with any one of the old gods. In fact, my other recommendation, though not necessarily much safer, would be to travel to the plane of fire instead. At least
Oh, that was also on the list.
I can accompany and prepare you for things that happen there. At the heart of the elemental fire is core, the remnant corpse of Diablos,
Corpse?
Yes. Which you could potentially use to destroy the horn. I'm not certain if it's good enough. Or at least, perhaps not destroy it, but it would be in a place that would be extremely difficult for devil kind to reach, since the fires of the elemental plane of fire are specifically designed to repel devil kind.
Right. Is by chance a phoenix there?
I believe so. Multiple.
Interesting.
Oh, I have one question. Do you perhaps in this tower have a toilet?
Oh, actually, I do. Yes, third floor. Just such kind of like a bidet.
Oh, very nice. Well, then,
It's just
Yes.
glamour with a bottle.
if you wouldn't mind, excuse me.
As I do DM, I have to really go big.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Quick
Yeah.
way. Goodbye.
Wizards have to be.
And we're back. You hear a flash as Epicus comes back down.
Always inconvenient timing. That it does. I might control the largest strands of magical fabric, but my bladder is still a mystery.
I actually was gonna ask, the horizon thread. What's the horizon thread? I kind of point to the Metal of Fate.
Kind of. Let me see again. The
He looks at it and he says, "It's a, should we call it? Old practitioners of the arcane wish to connect the two things that separated us from the divine, heaven and earth. And so they wanted to create an intermediary thing. The horizon is the thing that connects both. It connects
Makes sense.
everything that is above, so below. It's a particular thread that was woven in specific spells that would link people together. It was noticeably known for some that wanted to achieve the grandness of the divine. Though as practiced as these spellcasters were, it never quite reached the potential that true divine had.
Interesting. Well, I guess we have our plan. Get this artifact wherever it is. Quickly would be good, and then plan a fire and go from there.
Well, I have an educated guess as to where it might be. And I believe you might be familiar with the name of the location, Fiora. And I'm pretty confident whereabouts of this location.
I mean, I think I already know what you're going to say, but yes.
Yes, Test the Dine Archvault.
God. I'm going to get in so much trouble And it just got broken into. So security is going to be tripled. I don't know.
But that gives us an opening. The only opening we have right now that would give us a hint where it is. The Archvault. Its location is even beyond my knowledge. It's a very closely guarded secret of the Holy Religions. All manner of artifacts are stored and kept there. So only the highest members of the Potentia Gyrus know of the location. But, as you correctly said, it has been broken into by certain individuals who we have been tracking for quite some time now.
Oh God, no. That's out of character.
Yep. My reaction is skit, not Isara, because I know what's coming.
Boy.
Hit it.
Oh.
Hit us with it.
We have two options. Currently, Cineforce on the duty of trying to find them, but this is not necessary for our endeavors and might potentially waste more time. So I leave this option up to you. The other options we have is I have managed to figure out that there's no direct entry to the Archvault, but instead they have secret magical means of transporting individuals there to keep the location of the Archvault secret. And we were able to follow some of the Holy Blood Legion's movement right before they invaded the Archvault, which gives us a hint of an area where they might have found one of these entrances. So, he kind of takes out a map and places in front of you.
A map.
This,
More maps.
You're getting more maps. You're getting all the maps.
is the area where they have been
That's
spotted. This is the southern part of Lorendeas, of Canaan.
oh. Oh. That makes sense then. Okay.
So, you may either travel there and try and find potentially where this secret entrance is. It should be heavily weakened now since it was already, well, infiltrated. Or, if you can follow Xenophor as they are trying to trace the old members of the Holy Blood Legion, and we know for a fact that they must know where the entrance is. So yeah, the decision's up to you.
They're both just awful. One, we have like 20 spots to check. The other, go back to the enemies whose sinner we sealed away, foiled all their plans. Ah, boy, options. Okay.
Unrelated question. How much do you know about genetics?
It's...
I'm gonna shoot a look at Iserel. What?
I'm gonna get the map.
I wouldn't say I have not made my in-depth dive into components of our biological bodies. I have some about it.
Okay. So my question is going to be both simple and very charged. So if someone, let's say I am, I'm a high health, right? How far back would it needed to be? Let's say if one of my ancestors was a gnome, how far back would it need to be to not show up in my physical
God.
appearance?
This is
Basi-
indeed a strange yet somewhat
I know.
amusing question.
Because let's be honest, being a gnome and a high elf, there is about a 4 feet difference, 3 feet difference between the two. It would have to show up quite easily.
Yes, well, to answer this question in very simple matters, there are some species that are incompatible, so they can't breed and procreate children. For example, the one you just mentioned.
Gnomes, right? And
a-
elves.
Gnomes and
That would not work.
they could enjoy themselves, though there would be no offspring created from their joy.
What about dragonborns? Is there any species that are incompatible with them?
Dragonborns particularly are very... I don't think there are any other species that are compatible as far as I'm...
That are compatible or incompatible?
compatible. There's no, at least known species to me, that is able to procreate with dragonborn other than dragonborn.
A dragonborn.
It's, was referred to as by the Holy Religions as a devil's curse, that they weren't allowed to procreate. The genes aren't allowed to spread to other areas. Obviously, more myth than fact, but yes.
Okay, a simple curiosity here. We've obviously been traveling through plains and seen things and heard things, and I've been questioning what I know of this world a lot, so there is a little bit of a morbid curiosity about the world now.
It's a great curiosity to have as long as you know how to control it.
Shoots a glance at Fiera. But you're looking at the map, so you don't see.
Yeah, I wasn't even paying attention. I just bring up. So on that note, do you know what's happening in Norcon?
It's a troubling mess.
Right.
I have been attempting to gain more information about that, though my current duties hold me fortunately tied somewhere else.
Right. I'm just curious what's going to happen if the gateway opens. I know there's a lot of factions there now, but there was a legion there. Are they able to hold off devils for a time, or will they just be completely overrun? Especially with Astyaks coming through.
The problem about Norcan is because one of the legions turned, and so there are two legions fighting each other.
Right, civil war.
So they are woefully unprepared for an invasion, and I believe that this sudden turn wasn't as sudden as we might suspect. It's been an ongoing plot that was probably developed for a longer
Oh,
time.
I'm sure.
I'm suspecting that something similar might have occurred to the Holy Blood Legion we see here. There have been some reports of scouts I sent myself that have recorded the use of blood magic within the premises of Norcan.
Of course, it's all connected.
I would suggest
Okay, well, we need to make a plan.
Making a
That's
plan.
okay, go ahead.
it's fine.
Right.
Try and find a way to get this horn. As soon as you have it, contact me. I shall take you to the plane of fire.
Boy.
Ugh.
Why do you think?
Why do you think? Because if I don't think, I'm gonna go insane.
Why did they make Ganar? I understand that they couldn't kill Tiamat, but all the other sinners are there indefinitely. I would say a good portion of them would probably never be redeemed, especially if they've been there for hundreds of thousands of years. So what's the point of keeping them there and not just ending their life?
I would have thought you would own the answer of this by now. You've been there already.
Yes.
You've encountered Calyx
Yes.
and
The Calyx. We don't actually know his name.
his purpose. The purpose of a Calyx is what?
To remind people of sinners' mistakes in the past.
Not quite. It is to punish us. And we get a glimpse to what happens to us if we break the laws of the creators. Fear is a strong tool that has also been used in ancient times. Gena exists as a warning to us if we don't abide by the laws the creator set. Step off the path, be punished eternity.
I guess that's not what I would do.
It's not what most people would do, I would hope. But also haven't fought in a war that annihilated my entire existence. I don't think I can speak on their behalf.
Farewell.
Stands up. Brushes off it.
You have a lot to think about. If there are any more questions, my library. I will once again, after this, be preoccupied quite a bit. I am trying to buy you more time. I will try and travel to the fire plane with Koveth to put a wrench into what the devils are doing with. Perhaps that can postpone their arrival for just a couple of days.
You should know I am betting my soul that we can get the artifact before Tiamat.
You are betting souls
of hundreds of thousand lives on this continent, just your own. So I hope your confidence is based in skill.
More knowledge, but sure.
I have my faith. I have placed it in you three once before, and I shall do it again. You have managed to stop the Holy Blood Legion once again, and now their parents are coming. Show it to them, and you have truly proven this continent that there's always something worth fighting for. And if you do have some distant ancestor that is washed away in strange genetics, I should tell O'Toole to do his utmost to search the genes you have. Hopefully, we'll have that time in the future.
Nods. And around steps towards the door. A mage hand leaves. Closes by. End to the
So Eric is some sort of strange genetic anomaly.
I mean, there's probably a spell, or who knows? Maybe a item, artifact.
I've been suspecting this ever since the skills started showing up. It's been in my notes since the scales have been showing up. It's a small string of things that I've been suspecting, but you know, it's not nothing I had tangible. I had no reasons to.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, feeling better or worse now? With your
I feel
worse.
terrible.
Way worse. There's no.
Through that whole thing, I felt like a child that did something stupid with their friends at school, and they're being scolded by the teacher, and they're all trying to act like they did nothing wrong. And the teacher knows exactly what they did, and they're all like, "Do-do-do-do-do."
The teacher has
He-
like
he lays it out as
video
is.
evidence.
Yeah, that is how I
Yeah, I
feel
mean-
right now.
We see the consequences now. They're in plain.
We've seen them forever. This isn't new.
The Zephyr gets put in front of me now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it
Oh.
kind of was a little bit to be expected, but having it
Like,
spelled out
I mean,
is-
yeah, the good part is they'll escort us to the plane of fire. If we
Yeah,
get the horn.
totally.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's
That's a good
yes,
part.
of course. That is something good. We'll go to the plane of fire.
Hey, you
One more plane to add under our belt.
be able to travel with Zephygus then.
Mm-hmm.
A field trip, much like
Oh, Jesus God. After we break into the most secure vault on the continent.
Yeah.
Potentially
Possibly
with
the
our
world.
enemies.
There's no out for us anymore. There's just it's
Nope.
like
No,
Nope.
that's why.
Well, you two probably could, but
Yeah, that's why when Fiera did the contract, I'm like, wow, he's got no idea, man, what she got himself into.
I don't even know. Can I? I don't know anymore. I got nothing.
Yeah,
I got nothing.
yeah.
Hopefully, we just teleport there tomorrow and get it, then go home.
this campaign might still end in 3 different stories.
Yep.
Like
Don't die, man.
1 step forward, 6 steps behind. 6 steps forward, 3 steps behind. It's just a dance that we keep doing.
Yeah, that makes sense. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, depending where you, man, there are so many different areas where you could influence going on. Like in college, for example, you could have followed that business thread there. You could have went to Norcan, followed that thread there. You could have followed the
Yeah,
that thread there. Go to hell. You could have went to hell and then followed that thread there, or straight.
it's just been a whole hell campaign.
Yeah, and
This one is.
it's like,
Yeah, there's a lot of options. And
Imagine trying to stop the gate from the other side.
yeah.
Oh
Well,
man.
The good part is if you kill a devil in Avernus, they don't come back. It's when you kill them here in Caldeus that they just reconstitute and then just come through again.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I'm sure finding information in hell is probably impossible.
We just had a yeah. And of course, Bell could just be lying that is like not on their side, has no idea what's going on. I didn't do
Yeah.
an inside check.
yeah,
Oh,
man. And for each of these things, I had so much
Mhm.
prep. So it's always
Yeah,
like, we'll go
yeah,
there,
no.
we'll go there, we'll go there.
No, go back.
We'll go
Go
there.
back. We'll go to the gateway. I'll undo my deal.
It's like, yeah, it's
Yeah. Meanwhile, we're researching Mount Celestia, and we're probably going to go somewhere else.
exactly. So I had to, but because you could have decided not to talk with Zephygus, then you would have never discovered.
Oh my!
Yeah.
We would have been so screwed.
Yeah.
You'd have went to one of these areas of Mount Celestia.
Yeah.
Went to-
We would have explored all of Mount Celestia and just found nothing. Just
Yep.
No.
Yep.
well, we
yep,
found
yep.
a angel artifact, but
It's a good
Nope.
thing Isorel insisted on meeting with Zephygus.
Well, it would have been a
Yeah.
fun little tour on Celestia.
oh Jesus! Oh, only to find out that the entrance isn't there. I want to see what Eirik saw
Yeah, man.
the map.
Wake's reaction was. Damn.
It's so cool.
I gotta put that in my notes, otherwise I'm gonna forget.
Yeah. Well. Anyways, that was all a lot of crazy shit going on, as per usual in the Zephygus archives, and
Yep.
fucking.
Why do we keep going back there? It just keeps starting new things for us.
I know.
Like-
We just opened up 6 quests.
Yeah.
We never actually get answers from the archives.
Yep.
It's just here's more shit for you to do.
You know, our bastion is starting to look further and further and further and further away than it was
I
already.
know. I keep thinking level 20, we might finish with this quest.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, not really. You have a very strict time limit because if you fail, then campaign.
Yep.
might be
I know,
over.
but it takes us a session half a day. You know, a session a day.
Yes.
So that's like 30 sessions.
I mean, once you get back on the road exploring, then
We do have to like leave tomorrow. I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, depending which front you want to take. Go wild, just out in the nature, or follow the Holy Blood League.
Oh boy.
That's your guys.
I don't know.
Yeah. And I once again not the privilege to prep both. So we'll say goodbye for now.
Mm-hmm.
As a DM, never have a wizard be able to teleport, otherwise you will have to prep so much more. That's the tip. I should have learned from Matt when he warned me, but you know, that's just how it is. So see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye bye.